Ladies and good evening, gents. I'd like to welcome you to this event.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Now, look, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my friends, meaning you, can get together and talk about the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that you guys enjoy, if those are things that keep you up late at night on a Sunday night, Monday morning, when you got other things to do, then you know what? You have found the right place. And I am so glad that you are here with me today. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. You know, hey, come be a part of this growing community of nerds. We're almost 10,000 subscribers, and we would love for you to be a part of that, because once we hit 10,000, we're going to throw a big party. We got some big plans for that, and we want you to be a part of it. And so you can also say that, hey, I was here before 10,000. Right? You could say I was in on the ground floor of this awesome thing that is happening, this revolution, as it were, that's happening in nerd culture. And so we are so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us, like I said. And this is just a fun place, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Now, we got some topics to discuss. Also, we're going to take your calls. So already in the chat, I have put the link. So if you'd like to join in and have a conversation, we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm not going to be here all night. You know, we've done these epic 4-hour streams sometimes, but I don't want to do that. I'm like, I got some allergy thing going on, man. If you can't see, my eyes are a little red, but I got that. But also, I've got an interview that I am doing tomorrow, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're pre-recording an interview tomorrow, and so I need to be fresh and ready to go for that. But I figure, you know, we come into an hour or two and just talk, have some fun, you know, and enjoy ourselves. But first of all, thank you to everyone who supports the channel, guys. You're awesome. Whether or not you're a Patreon supporter, thank you guys to all the Patreon supporters. You guys are just fabulous. You're phenomenal. I can't tell you all how much I really am thankful for each and every one of you. You guys, you know, you guys help the channel in so many ways, and I'm eternally grateful to for you guys for that. So thank you to all the Patreon subscribers. You know who you are: Dawson, Brian, Darrell, Tony, CJ, Cylon, Jeff, Ross, Justin, Darth Tasty, and Corey. Thank you guys. And then also to all of our members, you guys can become a member. Becoming a member is such an easy thing to do. It's very simple, and you guys get all kinds of great little benefits and stuff, and some big benefits depending upon what you're doing. But thank you to Garguts, Aaron, Mark, Darth Tasty again, Cylon, Scotty, Sophie, two of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Nerdy in many ways, another one. These are like some of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Like, you guys are just awesome. Dawson, Brian, Master of None, Ambassadorial Wing, Tony, who is waiting in the wings back there, Gavin SG5, Amparo 1. You guys are fabulous and fantastic, and I'm grateful to all of you. Now, that being said, see, I'm trying to get my stuff around here, because I got some stuff to show you guys, and we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a good night. But we do have a couple people waiting in the back already, and actually two of my favorites, of course. So we're gonna go ahead and bring them in, and we will get the show started. But I want to say hello to Barcelona. What's up, Barcelona B? Always great to see you back there. Well, back there, I guess you're not in the backstage area, but good. I'm looking at somebody in the backstage area, but good to have you always in the chat on the channel. And hey, you're always welcome to join the conversation, of course. Goober, one of our members. What's up, Goober316? How's it going, everyone? Says Goober. It is going well. TW McKay is back there, and we're going to talk to him tonight. Tony's here, like I said, and we're always glad for him. Thomas Bartholdi, thank you, Thomas, for being here. Always good to see Thomas. And who else is here? Hey, we got a new sub here, and so I'm just going to call you Jay Bell. Although that is creative. That's very creative. But what's up, Jay Bell? I guess we'll call you Funk Jay Bell, as it were, because I guess that'd mean that you don't like Jay Bell, right? But says just subbed on YouTube. Gonna watch over there. Thank you so much for subbing. So glad to have you here. Glad for everyone who has joined and is a part of what we're doing. Hello, Richard. Good to have you here tonight. Richard Gilbert. I love the avatar. Absolutely fantastic. With Superman pulling his shirt apart there. Always good to have you guys. And like I said, it's always a good time, good conversation. Corey is here. One of our wonderful Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much, Corey, for your support, man. I really, really appreciate it. And says hey to everyone. That being said, so as you all know, every month we do a giveaway. And I just want to get out of the way. A lot of you knew, and thank you for all of your kind words, your prayers, your thoughts this last week, as a lot of you knew that Tiffany and I and the family, we ended up having to get tested and all this stuff because we were, exposed by through some different means. But the good news is, a lot of you know Tiffany wasn't feeling well. Apparently, we just came down with a bug at the same time that we were exposed. So the good news is everybody tested negative. So we're all healthy. We're all good. Nobody had it. Nobody, there's no further concern or whatever. So Ryan, if you don't know already, to all of our Patreon supporters and our members and anyone who gives a super chat at any time during the month, we do a giveaway every month. And so this last month's giveaway was the Matrix trilogy on Blu-ray along with the Animatrix. And so Ryan, we got the all clear. I'm still going to sanitize it and, and hose it down and all that good stuff, but it'll still work. You can still put it in your Blu-ray player. It's all right. But I will be sending that out to you this week. So just wanted to let you know that. And I believe... also, I believe Garguts, I need your information still to get you your comic book. And don't forget our free comic book of the week. This week's comic book question brought to you, of course, by the Miley Store, the fine people at the Miley Store. That's our good friend Crush It at the Miley Store. He crushes it all the time by bringing you guys great savings at the Miley Store. And every week we give away a free comic book that they've given to us. And so all you got to do is answer our nerd question of the week, and you are in the running for the free comic book. And this week's is really, really simple, and we're gonna bring it to a close here probably midweek. So you're gonna want to answer this in any one of our chats. Any one of our chats or in the comment section of any one of our videos. Just simply, how was Jason Todd brought back to life? We've let this one go a little bit longer, and so because I knew that with the possible testing and stuff like that, wanted to make sure that give everybody a chance here, and because we weren't going to be sending out anything real soon. So you still have a chance for that one and that free comic book. And that's all you got to do is answer the question in any one of the chats, any one of the either the chats or the comment sections, and you're automatically entered for that. And then, of course, don't forget, just go to the Miley Store on eBay. You can find their link in our description below, and they offer 10% off your purchase. The holidays are coming up. Black Friday is coming up. If you're here in the States, and you celebrate Christmas or whatever, just the holidays in general, you want to get a gift. Lots of great stuff on the Miley Store. You can go there. If you mention the Poindexter Lounge after you check out, you're going to get 10% of your purchase back. If you bought toys, you can buy 2, get 1 free when you mention the Poindexter Lounge. So go ahead and do that. All right. Save some money. You know what? And like I said, buy some stuff, man. We got, I got this stuff here on the Miley Store. I got this hat right here, this Galaxy Far, Far Away hat. Look at that. I mean, how cool is that? And then I got this Batman hat. I mean, they got hats, they got toys, they've got all kinds of nerd stuff, but then not just nerd stuff. They also have all kinds of wonderful, just regular gifts that, for people. And so you can go ahead and get one of those. Now, the last thing I will say is, like I said, Ryan is getting the DVD this month. I'll probably do like a half month thing, and probably halfway through December, we'll have a brand new giveaway. But I do have a giveaway that I'm going to run for the next couple of weeks for all of our Patreon subscribers and our members. It's a poster, but it's not just any poster. This poster was so cool. And I'll be honest with you, like, I saw this poster and I kind of wanted it myself, but I got a ton of posters. But hey, look at this poster. This poster is sweet. This is a pretty cool poster. And so if you go ahead, if you're a member or a Patreon supporter, or you give any super chats, you are entered for this poster, and we'll give that away in just a couple of weeks. Okay, so that is all out of the way. Grateful, like I said, to everyone, and so thankful, and just saying, Tara coming in here hot with the answer. so there you go, guys. I see your answers. That automatically puts you in the running for this week's comic book of the week. All right, so it's really, really simple. Really, really simple that way. What's up to Caleb? Good to see you, Caleb. I already said hi, but hello, Tara. Good to see you, Tara Atomic. Says, how's it going, man? First stream I've caught. Hey, well, welcome. So glad you caught the stream tonight. Fist bump to you. Superman fist bump to you. And so glad that you're here with us tonight. Mr. Horror Junkie in the house says, I didn't know you were a Freddy Krueger fan. Holy crap. Yes, I'm a Freddy Krueger fan. In fact, I've got a whole section in our living room, in one of our, what are they called? Curio cabinets. And down at the bottom, we have a whole section of Freddy Krueger stuff. So I got a claw in there. We got this really cool piece that I got Tiffany for her birthday one year. And it's basically like a little PVC plastic kind of statue kind of thing. And it's Nancy in the bathtub from the first movie, and Freddy's claw coming up through the water. And but it's a little diorama thing. It's really cool. And then I got a couple of Freddy action figures. I've got a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 action figure of Freddy, and then also like one of the Super 7, just like 5 points of articulation figures. Those are cool. And so yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, actually, out of all of those 80s icon figures, Freddy is probably my favorite. I always liked Freddy because Freddy was funny. He was witty. Yeah, some of the movies got really cheesy towards the end of it and everything, but man, I got some great memories watching Nightmare on Elm Street with my friends and stuff. And actually, just a couple of weeks ago, before they shut our movie theaters down again, Tiffany, Landon, and I all went to go see Nightmare on Elm Street. Actually, it was on Halloween, or the night before Halloween. I think it was the night before Halloween. So Devil's Night, we went to go see the original Nightmare on Elm Street on the big screen. And it was awesome. It's the first time I'd ever seen it on the big screen, because obviously I was, not old enough to see it on the big screen when it first came out. But man, I love that series, and just a fun series all the way around. I agree, Thomas. I see your correction down there where you said New Nightmare. New Nightmare is such an underappreciated movie, I think. And maybe we could talk about this a little bit with our panel when they come in. But New Nightmare, what an interesting conceived movie that is. Like the movie within a movie kind of idea. What a great idea, and what a great movie that was. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Says Mr. Horror Junkie says, I've actually met a guy who knows Robert Englund very well. He let me try on a screen used glove from the Dream Master. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I actually went as Freddy Krueger last year to our Halloween party, but I got about 15 minutes into our party and I had like all this prosthesis stuff on, and it all started falling off. So I was sweating. I had, because I got the hat and the sweater and everything, and I was getting warm and it was all falling off. So I ended up peeling it all off, washed my face real quick, came back upstairs, came back down as Bob Ross. What a polar opposite that was, but I froed my hair and came back down as Bob Ross, and you know, it worked. We almost got to meet Robert Englund once at our Comic-Con, but they closed down the line. And so the line was only for people who wanted autographs, and we wanted a picture. And so it just was what it was. So unfortunately we didn't get to meet him, but hopefully one day. That'd be actually really, really awesome. Ryan here, Ryan here says, I actually met him when at Rose City Comic-Con. He was very tough. Yeah, he seemed like he was, man. He was having a great time with everybody in there. Let's see. Richard, I do want to get to my panel here, but real quick, Richard says, what is your thought on Freddy versus Jason? I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It was one of those movies that I always hoped that they would make, because there was always those rumblings about it, you know, and it was always those rumors about it. And I loved Freddy versus Jason. I wish now, and I know Tony's back there, and I actually am going to talk about this with Tony, because it's Tony's favorite movie, I found out last night. But I introduced the boys, Isaac and Landon, to Evil Dead last night. And we watched Evil Dead 2. And then tonight we watched Army of Darkness. And, you know, there was supposed to originally be a sequel to Freddy versus Jason, which was Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which would have been phenomenal. But apparently they couldn't work out all the movie rights. They couldn't get it all worked out. And so there is a comic that you can find online. You can find, and you actually, I mean, you can find it at your comic book store, but there is a comic of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash that is available, that goes basically with what they were hoping to do with the movie. And it's actually a really great idea. I'll just give you a little bit of a spoiler. They basically make Jason out to be a Deadite in it. That's why Jason keeps coming back. And it totally makes a lot more sense, you know, when you think about it in that capacity. Tara asks, what did you think of the 2010 Nightmare movie? So, man, the 2010 movie, I have issues with. First of all, I think that they picked a great guy. If Robert Englund was not going to come back, and I still think I disagree with Robert Englund when he says that he can't do it anymore. I think that he could do that as long as he really wants to, and we would be all of us would be fine with it. I wouldn't have a problem with Robert Englund, no matter how old he is. You know, I know he probably doesn't want to put on the makeup and, you know, do all that stuff anymore, but man, I'd watch him and until he was 90 if I had to, man. You know, whatever. But if they're going to replace him, I think that what's his name as that would have been fine. He would have been fine. I did not like the makeup. The makeup I just didn't think was very good. He didn't look like Freddy. He looked like he had some other issues going on that I don't want to really say, because it may seem insensitive, but he didn't look it just didn't look good. But Jackie Earl Haley did a great job, I think, with what he was given. You know, I didn't like some of the changes. I didn't like, you know, it was interesting how they tried to make us feel sorry for Freddy. I was a little worried about that. If you haven't seen the 2010 version, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, but it's 10 years. They kind of threw us a curveball where they kind of made it out to be like, well, maybe Freddy was innocent, you know, of all the charges that were against him. And, you know, these people just went crazy and killed him, you know. And so, you know, spoiler alert, you know, that kind of doesn't pan out quite the right way, but you know, but yeah, but I'm a big time Freddy fan, man. The first I saw, actually the second one before I saw the first one, and I saw it down at my friend Wayne's house, because my friend Wayne had a VHS, you know, a VCR before anybody else in our neighborhood, and we used to go down there and watch movies all the time, and have fun. So yeah, so I've got quite a few figures, actually. I got a Freddy pop vinyl in this cabinet. Whoops. That cabinet right there, down there. I got some pop vinyls. Maybe you can kind of see just right there, but I don't think that you can see. It's weird. I don't think you can see him, but he's in there. Anyways, and then I got one of these Savage World Freddy Krueger figures as well. So yeah, it's a big time Freddy Krueger fan from way back. And I actually got grounded for a week once for going to see Freddy's Dead. I lied to my grandmother and I told my grandma that I was going down to my friend's house. And I did go down to my friend's house, but then we had his mom take us to go see Freddy's Dead, and she dropped us off at the movie theater, and I came back, and I would have gotten away with it too if I hadn't decided to stop off at the little corner party store and get a pop or something and come back, because by the time I did that, she'd called down to my friend Craig's house and said, "Hey, is Enosh back? Send Enosh home." She's like, "Oh," Craig's mom said, "Oh, I just picked him up from the movies, and he should be home any minute." And needless to say, I walked in the door and my grandma looked at me and said, "Hey, where were you?" And I said, "Oh, I was at Craig's house." Yeah, I wasn't. And so I got grounded for a month. But you know what? Every time, as bad as Freddy's Dead is sometimes, every time I watch Freddy's Dead, I think about those times, and it's good times and funny to think about. And I will say this, as bad as Freddy's Dead is, Freddy's Dead does give us a little bit of a little bit more of the information about Freddy. And I do enjoy that like, the dream spirits that gave him the power to do what he did and all that stuff, so yeah, I would have hey, what's up, Lightcast podcast? What's going on, man? Hey, if you want to join the conversation, man, if you want to join in here, man, I have I put the link in the description, but I'll do it again, man. Would love to have you in here. I got a couple guys here. We can have a conversation, man. But it's good to see you either way. Glad you're here. Either way, I'd love to have you back in here, man. And we just need to talk, man. So that is like Cass says, Freddie scared me as a kid. Freddie scared me too as a kid, but it was what it was, and so but it scared me in a good way. I kind of liked it at the same time, and I liked the lore of it. All right, so we got a good crew here. You guys got some great questions already, great conversation going, but I don't want to just talk to myself. So I got a couple of people here. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you've enjoyed him here as he's been on the channel a couple times here in the last couple of days here. You may know him better as what we like to call Mike Zeroh. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. T.W. McKay. What's up, TW?
This is Mike Zeroh. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content.
Hi, Enosh. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, and I hope you've learned your lesson. Don't lie to Granny Fat. She loves you, man.
I didn't anymore, man. I didn't anymore. She we didn't do that anymore. So I learned my lesson and I moved on. All right, moving forward. It's good to have you here, TW. Also here tonight, all the way. I guess I got two guys from north of the border. So also our good friend and resident Ray Liotta, Mr. Tony, aka Ray Liotta. What's up, Tony?
Not too much. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Doing okay?
I'm doing awesome. You know what? I have to say this. I didn't really watch the Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's two things I know about it. It was Johnny Depp's first movie ever, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And I did enjoy them later because they weren't really horror movies. And the other thing I remember is, first time I remember Robert Englund was he played a character named Willie on V.
On V. Absolutely.
The original V? I've never seen the original V. So
the original V.
Yeah.
Yep, the original
cool.
V. Yep, the TV series. That was one of his first big roles. Absolutely.
Was that before or after Elm Street?
Oh, that was way before Elm Street. Yeah, it was before Elm Street. Yeah, it was a couple of years before Elm Street.
What was really cool was they had do you remember the Batman, the 2002 cartoon?
Yeah.
He was the voice of the Riddler on that show.
I didn't know.
I was not aware of that.
They had an amazing cast on there of just, even if it was just kind of throw them at the wall for a scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the episode there was.
Before we move on too far, because my good friend Matt decided to join us. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know him from the world famous Lightcast podcast. That's right, man. He's tearing it up in all kinds of ways, man. Even my good buddy Ray Fisher was shouting out Lightcast the other day on his on his Twitch stream. He was talking to me and Lady Genevieve there, and so but we have the one, the only Matt. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? The one, the only.
The one, the only. Except no substitutions, man. Except no substitutions. I accept no substitution when it comes to my light cast.
All right, man.
You should announce all of us like at a basketball game. Coming in.
I
feel like Daffy Duck in Space Jam, where thank you, dead silence.
I always love how like when we come in like with some basic topics and like the stream just kind of takes it and just like when questions start flowing and everything, and it takes it to really really cool places. But yeah, man, Nightmare on Elm Street. Matt, you mentioned like Nightmare on Elm Street scared you. Like Freddy Krueger scared the crap out of me, but there was something about Freddy that still kept me like coming back as a kid, wanting to watch it still.
Oh yeah, to me it was his personality. It was like the shit he was gonna say, or like what he was gonna do. I think it was Freddy Krueger 3. He was like riding a skateboard and he cut the kid's head off. He just went, whoosh, and the head just went flying. And I was like, I'm never riding a skateboard again. Like, I'm done. I'm done. As a kid, I was like, I don't want to end up like that kid in that dream. I'm done.
Yeah.
Man, no, I hear you, man. Well, that was the great thing. The kills were always so just inventive. I mean, just even in the first movie where like Lisa is drug all over the ceiling, and they literally built the room where they had the room spinning and did that whole scene. I mean, that was great. And then it just kept going on from there. Like you said, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 with the Dream Warriors.
That
was 4, wasn't it?
Right?
I thought 4 was Dream Warriors.
No,
or Dream.
4
no,
was
3 was Dream Warriors. 4 was I think the Dream Master.
Dream Master, yep. And then 5 was the Dream Child. And
which was
that's Baby Yoda's job.
Wizard. Which one was that?
That was 3. That was 3.
That was 3. Yeah.
Yep. He was into Dungeons and Dragons and
I'm a wizard. I was like, that's cool. Why not? You're in a dream. Be whoever you want to be. Smart kid.
That's what I love about those movies. They were just that nuts. I was personally more of a Friday the 13th guy just because I liked Jason more personally, but the Nightmare on Elm Street movies were always just crazy in a way that, Friday the 13th just almost couldn't be. I mean, when you're getting to 5 and 6, I mean, those are whole other conversations we can have when it comes to Friday the 13th. But yeah, but I loved the kind of just insanity you could get from all the dream sequences.
Yeah, I mean the humor, and it was kind of weird because you always were kind of rooting for Freddy.
Sort of, kind of.
You were.
Right? Yeah, like you wanted him to kill those kids. Yeah, because the kids were always just jerks, and you wanted him to kill them. And, yeah. I like Tara's comment here. Says Freddy is the cool uncle of horror icons.
I think was he? Because I know the remake was like not that great, but it was the idea that he was a pedophile, and that's why the parents, in the original, the parents murdered him in a boiler room.
Right, they lit it on fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they threw him in the boiler or whatever it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he was touching kids or something. No, he was protecting the kids. Wasn't he? In the remake, he was the pedophile. The original, he was the pedophile. In the remake, they tried to make him look like the parents made him look like a pedophile when he was.
Yes.
I've always liked it when, I hate to say this, I always liked when he was a pedophile because he had more control. Like he was always free to do what he wanted.
Yeah, he was the villain. He got to be that crazy, and you knew that they were always when whoever was the good guys kind of came out winning in the end.
And he had a purpose too. Yeah, it was a purpose. Like he wanted to get the kids. Later,
yeah, he was just killing kids. He wasn't touching kids no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a pedophile, I think you're always a pedophile, whether you're in hell or not.
Yeah.
I think you're still gonna touchy, and then maybe cut it off. Who knows?
Yes.
Well,
according to Mr. Horror Junkie.
Yeah,
we may all be wrong.
Well, hold on. Where's hold on a second. I'm trying to find Horror Junkie's comment here because he is right about one thing.
Child murderer.
Yeah, well,
yeah, he was a child murderer.
Yeah,
and then in the 2010 he was a child molest. They tried to make him look like a child.
You're
molester.
right. You're right.
Yeah, because he was
It's been
trying
a
to come
while
back.
since I've seen the...
Yeah, he was trying to come back and get the kids because he never got them in the first one. So he said, I'm going to get my revenge by taking your kids.
Yep. So this Horror Junkie is right in this statement too, because the second one is actually, it's considered a gay horror movie, which is really? Weird. Yeah, it's kind of gotten this underground thing. There's a documentary called I think it's called Never Sleep Again. And it goes into
something like that.
It goes into each movie in detail, and I've only seen it once. But there's this whole underground thing with the second one because the guy who played the main kid in part 2, he's gay in real life. And so apparently there were all these like homoerotic undertones to it and stuff, even with like where like Freddy is inside of him. And so there's like all these weird things, even though he's not gay in the kid's not gay in the movie. Like there's all these undertones that were apparently specifically put there. And then like there's the dancing scene. You remember the dancing scene where he's got the whatever that is and he's like grinding it and stuff and he's on his bed, and stuff, because that's what teenage boys do.
Okay,
that's what teenage boys do. That's what I know. That's how I spent my Saturday nights. I mean, I
didn't have a lot to do yesterday, so
feeding all the chickens, churning lots of butter, raise the barn on Monday.
Soon I'll raise the butter.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, I got this poster. I'm just,
I like that poster.
That's a weird angle.
That poster is impossibly like 70s. That's not an insult. It's just
I know, isn't it? That's a cool poster.
It's great. Like it kind of has that vibe of like I would not be surprised to see this floating around. Like it's like the old was the 75 one, the one with like the triangle and Luke standing in the middle of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like Like the old one.
I think this is true too. So I think that there was more of an emphasis on the child murderer thing in the originals, but that it still was implied that he was still a pedophile in that one. But it wasn't the main thing.
It wasn't like something that like stuck out to you, but it always like to me when I watched the first one, because it was so like the practical effects were like back then when you're watching it on VHS and you have your 20-inch, like 19-inch screen or whatever, everything looks real.
Yes.
And then when you get it on Blu-ray, it destroys the whole movie for you.
Yes.
And I was watching it and you hear the little girls and that implication that he did something to these two little girls and took them were always like theme throughout the series was 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, 3, 4. That like to hear the little
George
girls
Lynch
sing
is
that.
busting through the door.
Yeah. that was always so like terrifying.
Did you guys ever watch? So for a little while, because like in the 90s, there were all these like little like anthology shows, right? So there was a Friday the 13th series. There was a series called like Monsters or something like that, where there was just like these hour long.
Famous Monsters. I think they made into a TV series.
They did that, but there was like all these. But Monsters was like this anthology series where it was like an hour long show, and they would just tell these horror stories, and it'd be on like Saturday night, like midnight, 1 a.m. And like I'll never forget, one was like this couple, and there was this giant spider that like the guy was trying to marry this girl so he could sacrifice her to this. It was always like weird stories, right? It was like a Tales from the that's a great John Peters. Yeah, that's awesome. You got to have a giant spider. Got to be
every
a giant
day with
spider
the
in the third act, right?
Thanagarian snare beast, yeah.
Right. But yeah, so they but it was always like it was kind of like Tales from the Crypt kind of thing, but they did a series of Nightmare on Elm Street, which was called Freddy's Nightmares. Did you guys ever see that?
Yes. Il Liff mentioned it in the chat.
Yeah.
Saying like
Freddy's Nightmares, you can actually find it on YouTube. And it's I also think it's on the Tubi app. I want to say it's on the Tubi app.
I'll give that a check.
But the first what's worth it, because like the whole thing as a whole isn't great because Freddy is like the host. right? So he's like talking to you, and he's like, "Hi, boys and girls, welcome back to the show." You know, kind of
I
deal.
remember this.
That's a little strange.
Yeah,
I remember this.
But the first one was amazing because it was an hour-long episode of Freddy before he was killed, and it showed him like in the court case. Oh yeah, see, yep, Matthew.
I remember this.
Yep. Yep, that's Freddy playing guitar and because they had all these like little bumpers and stuff between. Here says anyone remember the backstory? Freddy getting burned from the first episode of Freddy's Nightmare Show on Fox. Yes, and so you can find that episode still here on YouTube, I believe, and it literally tells the story of Freddy. But yeah, Freddy would do all these little bumper things while like an episode would be going on. It'd be about, like some kind of crazy murder thing. And Freddy was the host, and it was almost like Unsolved Mysteries or whatever. And Freddy would come back and be like, "Oh, we just left, Rob was stalking this girl, but Rob's going to be in for more than he can, deal with in a minute, and then it would go back. But yeah, Freddy playing guitar there. I always loved that about Freddy. Like I used to tease my friends and stuff because I always wanted to write a Freddy scene where it was like a school dance, and all the kids are dancing and stuff, and they're dancing cheek to cheek, and it's so romantic and everything, and then all of a sudden the room grows dark, and Freddy is out there and he's wearing a tuxedo, and so the girl who's there with him, it's her nightmare, and she looks at him and he's like, hey, like I'm your date now. And he's like chasing her around, and she's, beating him up and stuff, flinging him over the punch bowl and all that stuff, and then like he's right on top of her, about ready to kill her. And he's got his glove up, and she reaches up and she grabs his tie and tries to choke him with it. And he acts like he's choking, and he's like, ah. And then he's like,
it's a clip on.
Sorry, it's a clip on. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wouldn't that be great? I'm telling you.
That would be awesome.
It's so totally something I can imagine him doing.
Weird thing about Tales from the Crypt, this is gonna sound strange. I've never seen Tales from the Crypt, but I did see like almost every episode of Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Strangely enough.
Yeah.
Like the kids friendly version of that. That was really strange. Like in the 90s, it seemed like every sort of major.
The animated one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's funny, like in the 90s, it always seemed like every adult-focused property had some sort of kid-friendly version, or at least maybe it seemed like that for me, like Tales from the Crypt and Mortal Kombat and whatever.
Rambo.
Rambo had action figures.
Yeah. Who else did? RoboCop was an R-rated movie. It was a hard R-rated movie back then. Conan. Yep. Yep. There was a lot of stuff like that.
I think the 90s were like that. Like, you don't see horror stuff like that anymore. Like in the 90s, it was so strong. Like you had Goosebumps, Tales from the Crypt, the kids version, and then you had a lot of the other
like children's horror.
Yeah, children's horror. But then you still had like horror, like horror specials that would play. Like there was a lot of the Simpsons horror specials that were so strong, and now it's like horror's kind of gone away now in today's age, and it kind of sucks because it's like I don't get to see Freddy Krueger in a classroom or courtroom.
I'm just hoping it'll be.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know, man.
It'll be like one good franchise or one good movie to kind of hopefully, I was going to say get the ball rolling, to hopefully restart things, or at least kind of.
I think there's a couple. Again. I think there's a couple. The problem happens is when stuff gets into like major sequels, right? Right when there's like multiple sequels. Like I actually really like the Conjuring series. I think there's some good stuff in the Conjuring series. Some of it's silly,
But then you get into like the sequels and the spin-offs and the spin-offs of the spin-offs, and I'm like, why?
but I dig it. I like the Conjuring series. The
original ones are great.
Yeah. You know what? And I'll be honest with you, one of my favorite movies is the very first Paranormal Activity.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I think it was just there were so many of them in a row that it almost got burned out. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
The first two I would say are really good movies because they go together, and then the second one throws you a twist. If you remember, for those of you who haven't seen it, it throws you a twist at the end where you think it's the sequel, but really it's the prequel, and so it kind of tells you how stuff happened, and it looked like they were going someplace with it. but then it just kind of got out of hand, you know, and it got,
we're going to show
weird.
you the ghosts, and we're going to do this, and
well,
we're going to do that.
But that first one, man, especially that first one, like it keeps going back to that Static Shock. And if you Static Shot, not Static Shock, if you remember, Steven Spielberg actually bought that movie because that movie, that Oren Peli wrote that movie, made that movie on the cheap, and it won a ton of awards, all kinds of film festivals and stuff, and it won all these awards and everything. And then Spielberg bought it and actually changed the ending a little bit, because if you remember the ending where her face kind of morphs at the end, you kind of see the demon for like half a second as she comes towards the camera. He added that because originally it didn't have that. But you know, the original, I got a friend who went to film school, and like his whole thing about that movie, he's like, you know why that movie works, don't you? And I was like, why is that? And he says, because they keep going back to that one shot of them in the bed, you know, with you know with the blue screen. And he says, and every time, he says, they don't show you anything, but every time something's going to happen, there's no music in it, so all you do is you kind of hear that noise, that hum, that and you kind of can't tell. Yeah, and it slowly kind of builds your blood pressure, you know, and kind of puts you on edge, and like you don't really know why you're kind of on the edge, you know, but that's good stuff. Hey, I'm gonna bring our good friend Metro Obligate. I'm gonna ruin his name. I'll just let him tell you.
Metropolis Radio.
There you go.
And by the way, TW, I am wearing this hat specifically for you.
I have to be perfectly honest. It was cool to see the Georgia hat because I'm a Pats fan, so like a bunch of the guys on the roster are all Georgia Bulldogs. And I do love seeing the Dawkins shirt. Yes.
Oh,
how very fitting of the conversation.
Question in the chat: what is their connection to Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh, we know that all too well.
Anybody in the chat? I figured you guys would know.
Heck yeah!
I hope I didn't give it. I hope I didn't give it away because when
you did a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. And then also our good friend, also going to come in here. Our good friend who won last month's giveaway. And that's Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, how's it going?
He's Ryan. Good, man. He's always on a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. We still love him.
He needs that 3-second delay. Don't worry about it.
Ryan had the great comment in the chat. I was
waiting for that.
With the power. Now I'm playing with power.
He controls him like a puppet.
It's so bad.
But did you guys like New Nightmare?
Yeah.
Was that the one where he's directing the movie about himself or something?
Yeah, it's the one where Wes Craven is in it. Like all the original people come back, and they're supposed to be making another movie. That was like 4 and 5. Alice is in 4 and 5.
Okay,
yeah. Because first she's in Dream Master, and she kind of takes the role in Dream Master, and then in Dream Child, she's the mom. In Dream Child,
God, that whole scene just like
but I really liked. I thought it was really meta the way that they did New Nightmare, because of basically saying that the idea of Freddy was this ancient, you know, evil spirit that was that had to live through story, and the only way he could live was to continue to, you know, to have his stories told and living off the fear and stuff. And I thought that was a really it's a really interesting concept, especially for something like Freddy Krueger, because it was so popular, like, and you kind of take it in this whole different direction, you know?
Like I said before, it's almost like breaking that fourth wall, but without breaking the fourth wall, like not talking to the camera, but still playing a character who is you. You know, it's like, hey, Tony's playing Tony tonight. What?
And I can't wait till this conversation progresses and we will be able to get to another character who enjoys breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, but the reason why we're talking about Robert Englund is because he's going to be on Stranger Things season 4. What do you guys think of that?
I've never seen Stranger Things.
What, you've never seen Stranger Things, Tony?
Awesome. You've never lived in Florida.
My friends always say to me,
well, Tony, it was good having you on the broadcast. Always good seeing Tony. It's too bad that his internet connection just was not working anymore.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I hate that.
You got to see it, man. You got to see it. Good show. I didn't see. Now, see, I was in that same because I didn't have Netflix like the first season that it was out, and everybody kept telling me, "Enosh, you got to watch Stranger Things. You got to watch Stranger Things. You got to get Netflix back." Because I had Netflix back in the day when you had to send, in the DVDs and stuff. And then I let that subscription run out, and I was just like, "Yeah, whatever." And but everybody was like, "Enosh, you got to see it. You got to see it. You got to see it." And then finally, I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll get it and I'll see it." But before I did that, it came out. The first season came out on DVD. And we rented the first season and we binged the entire thing in one day. And then the second season was coming out that next day. So it was like, we got a Netflix subscription and just binged the whole thing in one weekend, the first 2 seasons, but it's good. It's good. I really enjoy it.
Let's see.
Oops.
Uber's got my back, man. You see that?
I'm gonna wind up in somebody's trunk like Billy Bass. I don't want that. No.
I know your address there, Poindexter.
You can't kick Ray Liotta. We can kick out Ray Liotta.
Did you kick Ryan out?
He does it all the time.
No, Ryan comes and goes. I love Ryan when he comes and goes sometimes. But so when he's here, we're like, yay, and then when he's out, we're like, oh, there he went.
There he goes.
One of my favorite weird things about Stranger Things, I do like a lot of the 80s nostalgia stuff too. One of the weird things was, at least it was interesting to me, was they were going to use, they use D&D as sort of the central plot point as sort of for the first season. They wanted to use magic, like Magic the Gathering, but the problem was because the first season takes place in 83, Magic the Gathering wasn't created until 93, wasn't first released to the public till 93.
Yeah.
So they had to use D&D. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just a
Never heard that.
I think the Duffer Brothers had mentioned it a while back in an interview somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I also want to point out that in the first season and when they're playing at D&D, that was really interesting about that. But you see the poster for John Carpenter's The Thing, which of course when it came out it bombed terribly, and
that movie scared the pants off of me.
Yeah.
As a kid.
And we lost him.
Crap.
We lost him, and then Metro comes in.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm having a lot of video and audio problems. It just randomly cut. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, perfectly clear on my end.
So what were you saying there, Ryan, about The Thing?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm having internet trouble here, but like I said, and when it first came out, I guess one, it wasn't properly received, because of E.T., and two, it bombed terribly, and so there wasn't that much of appreciation for it then than it is today. So, and I'm sure there are a good handful of people who really, really loved it, but in terms of a mainstream, popularity, so to speak, I think it would have taken some time just to build up that popularity. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is where I'm going to show I'm going to have to take myself out of the stream. Maybe I have never seen The Thing.
What?
Scared the crap out of me.
Get out of here. Boot yourself. Thank you. Oh, God.
That's right.
No, this is when he comes back and says, I've never seen the original.
Man.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those movies I just have never gotten around to seeing, and it's never been just readily available for me to see.
Don't you have Netflix? Isn't it on Netflix?
I don't know. Is it on Netflix?
I'm gonna search right now.
Yeah,
they redid that movie too. They remade that.
Yes. Was it a remake or was it
that was a prequel. In 2011. That was the prequel.
Yeah.
Was it a prequel? I thought it was a remake.
It's on Hulu. Do you have a Hulu?
I do have Hulu. Is it on
It's
Hulu?
on Hulu.
Is it on regular Hulu, or now they put all the good stuff on it, like Hulu Plus or whatever?
It's on Hulu, Amazon, and Showtime. So if you have
Amazon, Tony and I can check that out. Just sadly, us Canadians don't have Hulu. But
well, that's because you're Canadian. But
I will say that
you get healthcare
on Hulu. Letterkenny's on Hulu. We gave that to you, Enosh.
You get healthcare. You just don't get Hulu.
But we gave you Letterkenny.
Straight up.
I'll give you Showtime if you need it, man. I only watched one thing on there, so.
Okay, I gotta say one thing about horror movies. There was a man when I was a kid that used to scare the pants off me as well, and you know what? He doesn't get enough credit because some of his movies are super cheesy.
Mr.
But Stephen King.
Oh.
Like, have you watched the first Pet Cemetery? Like, the first Pet Cemetery is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the way to the
original
end, dead, and the last thing you hear is just the screams because she picks up a knife off the table. Like, you don't even get to see her dismember her own husband. You just get to picture it, and then the credits roll. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's almost the best way that horror works in that sense. Is suggestion when it's just your mind at work. You can imagine, worse things or better things.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting, I always love that kind of thing when it comes to suggestion, like how crazy, like not just with horror, but with anything. Like the whole.
that was a man. That was a man playing a woman.
Yeah.
That's a man playing a woman. And he was a dancer. That's why he was all gaudy and he could do those moves. But this man, I watched this documentary on this. Actually, this was a man playing a woman with spinal.
But Tony, the question is, was it a man?
I think it was a man.
Was it a man? Are you sure?
It was a man.
Okay.
It's a God.
Tony says it's a man.
Oh, man.
I'm messing with you.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the first time I saw, and I just saw this a couple of years ago too, but The Shining for the first time. And
one I've never seen.
Yeah, so when I saw The Shining for the first time, there's the classic scene of the naked old woman
in 237.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, so my wife didn't tell me that was coming. And I'm watching this along with my wife. Like, I woke up on a Saturday and she was watching it in bed because it's like one of her favorite movies. And now I love it. And, and actually Dr. Sleep was actually, I think, a pretty good sequel. Like for doing a sequel so many years later, it was really good. But
especially for I've never seen. Go ahead, say it again, Tony.
Didn't they parody that in like Ready Player One? That scene.
Yeah. But man, I'll tell you what, it's so creepy. And that little old lady, I mean, it starts off as this, attractive young lady, and stuff. And like, I'm sitting there watching this with Tiffany, and Tiffany's, I can't remember what she was watching. So it was like the full movie though. So it wasn't like TV, it wasn't edited or anything. And she's like, hey, look at this. And I just woke up and I'm like, okay, so there's a naked chick. All right. And then it was like, horror naked chick. And I'm like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is not how I wake up in the morning. Thank you.
The one thing I respect about the one thing I respect about Dr. Sleep, like the film adaptation of Dr. Sleep, is that they had to work around all of the changes that Kubrick made to The Shining, and I thought that would just the fact that they took the time to do that, not just try and sort of do a separate thing that's just adapting the book, like Kubrick just adapted The Shining. I do have to give them immense kudos for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that movie is scary, but it's like mentally scary. It's like he's in his own head. You see him sitting there talking to people in the bar, and there's nobody there, and he's like, "Hey, maybe you should kill your family."
I know, right?
Have you seen the director's cut of Dr. Sleep?
Yes, that I own it. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I recommend that one, and yes, it's so much better. Did you watch there's a documentary about how Kubrick and Stephen King don't get along because of The Shining, and how Stephen King kind of does not like that interpretation of his movie. Like, he kind of, in a way, will steer away from it. What's funny is that he goes directly to Dr. Sleep, where it ties directly into that movie.
Well, it's probably because he wants to replace all the guns with walkie-talkies.
Oh, for the love!
And I think that's not the only movie he doesn't like the director of. Yeah. Like, I think, you know what? He's a great writer, but he just sells his stuff off, right? And people take it and interpret it the way they want, and he really doesn't have any say in it. Like, didn't he take his name off of?
Yeah.
What is Pet Cemetery 2? I think it was. He took his name right off it. Like, nope. We're done.
Him and Grisham had a great conversation. Basically said, when it comes to writers dealing with adaptations, I think it was Stephen King himself had said, basically, do not assume or understand that your work, it will not look the same coming out as it did going in. By understanding that, you can feel a little bit better about that. And I think it was probably what happened with The Shining or maybe one of the other films that kind of caused him to do that. But I thought, I haven't seen the documentary, but I was aware of the conflict between Kubrick and Stephen King.
Yeah, he really wanted to like that's always the strangest thing to me is when films or when books change the adaptation into a film. It's like you're crossing the medium. Like the story's not gonna translate as well. Like one of the biggest ones is Watchmen. Like if you read the book, you cannot make that a movie. It's impossible. You just can't do it.
Hard as he tried, I love the comic. There is just no way you could do it. I mean, you literally have
and the movie's good.
It's good.
It's a great movie. It's just not the book.
Like,
they're just
like the essays and the lab notes and like the stuff that could only, or like the book transcripts or like the chapters of the book could only work in that medium. And that's the one thing I do kind of respect about when it comes to adaptation, what you need to do like to get it done.
Oh yeah. Like I was watching was it 300, right? I was watching 300 again, and I love the book. And then I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, I love the visuals of the movie, but it's like you can't take what was in the book and put it on screen, just the story-wise, because it's not going to work. Like, you're just going to be like, well, how the fuck does that make sense? You know? And then you're like, well, I need to know a little bit more of the character to understand why they did it. But when you watch the movie, it's like, nah, it's pretty clear.
Well, that's the problem with
she's a badass.
Yeah, with movies, sometimes that's just the problem is that you only have so long, you know, to be able to establish characters, to be able to, you know, put them in these situations, and it's hard always because so much of books is what's the inner monologue of characters, right?
Each medium does things that just can't. Each medium does great things that the other media just can't do.
Yeah,
you know, and
like I know a lot of people got really bent out of shape about Watchmen and like the ending, you know, with the squid and all that stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I actually prefer the film ending.
I think as it's more concrete
to the comic.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way because I think just the ending, spoilers for those who haven't seen Watchmen. I know it's a while ago, God knows how long, but you know,
actually, by this point, if you haven't seen it, you know,
35 years. It's 35 years for the comic and what, like almost 15 years for the movie now.
Something like that.
I liked
2007.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
2009.
2009. Okay, 11 10 years. But I liked that it was a little bit more concrete. They could connect it directly to Manhattan. Manhattan was already leaving. It just kind of it seemed smoother to be able to convince people that Manhattan's the enemy than trying to convince everybody on the planet that aliens exist and that aliens have also invaded us.
Yeah, because in the book, it makes more sense because you have that buildup from the character monologues and the internal talking.
Yes.
And all that's building out of the character rather than you have 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I mean, the director's ultimate cut is like fucking 3+ hours.
Yeah.
Like, it even includes the Black Friday, which is like.
Oh, yes. I forgot that the director's cut did that. I love the Black Freighter. And the way that that's one thing I loved about the comic was the way that the Black Freighter, like, they interspaced, you know, panels of the comic with what was going on in real life. But yes, I loved that about it.
Shout out to Dawson out in Vegas right now. He's on vacation, and
he's in Vegas.
Yeah, he's in Vegas right now. Dawson.
Dawson's in Vegas. You can't. That's weird. What is he doing in Vegas?
He's with his family. He's hanging out there. I'll tell you what. He sent me these really cool pictures. Like they rented a place, and like it's like this ultimate like it almost looks like the Playboy Mansion kind of deal. It's like got a little grotto, and it's got like these little waterfalls, and like you know, like they got a basketball court. They got like all this stuff going on, and it's like they're just hanging out. So yeah, man. So it's
long as you're enjoying yourself and you're taking the rest and relaxation you need.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow's gonna be interesting with Ryan hosting those Happy Chat Mondays. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll do our own stream and totally take over for that. So Ryan doesn't have to worry about getting any viewers.
And then here's Ryan. It just pops up.
We'll just you know what? I'll just have Nerdy just send me all the stuff and just be like, hey, just send me all your artwork and stuff and give me access and I'll just do it. I'll just do it. Actually, he says my wife's grandparents' 50th anniversary. Big old family reunion.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Right.
No, I see here he says Ryan has no claim to happy chat. So there you go. So we'll just that's
the one thing I've been liking about like the high budget television has become more readily accessible. Like not like as far as from studios, it's not just sort of like tiny little things. Like we're getting, I'm not so much for that new whatever they're doing with Lord of the Rings, but I'm intrigued to see what they do with the Wheel of Time. I think it's Prime Video's doing the Wheel of Time adaptation or something like that.
I'm not aware of that.
I did not even know that.
Yeah, they're working on a Wheel of Time adaptation. I don't know if it's Prime Video, but someone's doing a full-on Wheel of Time adaptation.
That's crazy. I was unaware of that.
See that folks is why we stream. That is why we stream, because we all learn new things every single day. And so there you go.
I'm cool with it. I'm down for it.
Absolutely. I love Nerdy says the dude hates everything, meaning Ryan. And Thomas comes in and he's like,
well, that's
how can you hate everything, man? How can you hate everything?
The dude hates nothing, man.
Oh, well, maybe the dude, but Ryan. Yes. Ryan, on the other hand,
might hate everything.
The dude abides. We know
the dude abides. You guys were talking about ET earlier, and so I got to say this real quick, just as a transition thing to our next topic, and this will be a nice palate cleanser from this image that we're looking at right here, right? So you guys mentioned
on that again.
Anyway.
So you guys mentioned ET. Actually, oh crap!
Were 4Kids Entertainment watching the special edition of that movie? Like, seriously, we're changing guns to walkie-talkies. At least it's not just invisible guns,
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Well, that was just a bit. Well, see, I had it up here and then I lost it, but so I guess I won't be able to play the ET one. Hold on.
Thank you, Silent Scotty. By the way, he said Wheel of Time series is coming to Amazon Prime. I was trying to remember. Thank you for that.
Oh. Hold on a second. I was trying to find the video. I totally messed that up because I forgot that I removed the video. Did you guys ever read the sequel book to E.T.?
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Oh yes, there is a sequel book. Fun. There's a sequel book to E.T. and
Dawson was kind enough to put it to song, or excuse me, Dollar Tree Dawson was nice enough to put it to song.
Where the heck?
I kid, of course. But this will be fun.
Yeah, no. Well, dang it! I screwed this up because I had it set up before, and I totally deleted. Oh, I think I found it. Hold on a second. Yep. Okay, I got it. So I'm uploading it. Well, I say this because we've talked about this guy. His name is actually Jordan, and he's got his own YouTube channel called Keys, and he's on TikTok. Yes. He's actually got 150,000 followers on TikTok, and he's called It's Keys. Kiyes, and tomorrow I'm interviewing him because we've talked about him so much, and he's brought us such classics that everybody absolutely loves here on the channel. We keep playing his little songs like where's everybody's favorite place to eat?
All over town, people are talking about the lunch trench. It's the ditch where you can eat your food.
Love the lunch trench.
I love the lunch trench. But so I bring this up because we were talking about ET, and this is a real thing. And I was actually talking to him about this because I was like, dude, thank you for making this little song, because this is like the first thing that I heard of him. This is what got my attention about him.
Really?
Because when I was a kid, I don't know if what it was like for you guys, but when I was a kid, we used to have like a book fair or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so there was one book fair where I'll never forget. They had this little paperback book, and it was like it was said, the sequel to E.T., and it was this continuing, but the book was freaking weird. It was so weird. And I remember reading this thing and going like, this is not like E.T. at all. This is like really weird. And when I grew up, nobody I know remembers this thing. And he was talking about it. He was like, he was so surprised that I latched onto it, because he's like, you're right. Nobody knows that this thing existed. And he was just like really surprised that I. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, hey, guess who's here? I didn't even see him. Hey, what's going on, Nerdy? Good to have you,
Dawson.
Good to see you, Dawson. It's weird to see you.
Yeah.
It's weird to see you not in your natural habitat.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, oh, my hat's over there. I'm just like kind of settling in for the night, but it's like a really dark and like grungy looking themed room.
Yeah, dude, it's like Beetlejuice or something.
It's like you're in the mansion from The Shining or something.
Pretty much. There's literally a karaoke room like right outside the door. Like with like constant like strobe lights like all the time. I have no idea how to turn them off. There's like a basketball court right.
We call that the epileptic.
Give me 2 seconds. I will be right back. You can push me out. I'll be back in like 2 seconds, guys.
All right.
He's gonna turn off my lights for me.
Oh well, that's good. So you showed.
I'm not leaving because of Dawson. I have to put laundry in the dryer.
Okay. You sent me a picture, Dawson, where they have the arcade game that I just bought.
Yeah.
Have you played that yet?
I was playing it a little bit ago. I was playing some of the Return of the Jedi game, which is freaking hard. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Difficult.
Is it the Nintendo one? I haven't set it up yet. Is it the Super Nintendo one?
I mean, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
But like basically, there's like the first level's like you like jump over like trenches in a ship on Tatooine, and then you like jump around different platforms as Luke. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with Super Nintendo, but then again, I don't know.
Yeah. So. Have you played Tron on it yet?
No, not yet. But that's the reason that I knew was the one you had.
Yes.
Because I saw Tron, I was like, "Hey, Enosh has this," and everybody's just like, "Who?" And it's like, guy I know on YouTube.
And you introduce your whole entire family to Enosh, and we have a nice discussion.
Pretty much.
But no, so I was just telling everybody. So this is the actual story. This guy actually, his name is Jordan, and he actually put the entire story. Oh, nice. He put the entire story for the ET thing into a song that's less than a minute long. And I'm interviewing him tomorrow. So check this out.
E.T. never got a second movie, but Spielberg let this guy write a book as a sequel where we learn E.T. is a centuries-old botanist who's in trouble on his planet just for talking to people. But E.T. misses Elliot, so he tries to connect with him. But Elliot's distracted by a girl in his life, and even when E.T. sends out some telepathic replicants, his psychic stalker copies can't catch Elliot's eye. Yeah, E.T.'s jealousy becomes too much. He heads to Earth in a spaceship that he grew from the ground, but E.T. never makes it back to us, leaving room for a sequel that would never come round. Yeah, E.T. is a classic tale about love and loss and friendship and joy, but this book's about an eons-old alien scientist who's obsessed with the love life of a preteen boy.
There's my childhood out the window. Goddamn.
That's so freaking weird.
Wow. Yeah. Dawson, he kind of looked like you, man.
Yes, that's what we've been saying.
I thought it was at first, Dawson. I was like,
yeah.
Add that to the list of people that I look like. Apparently, the Riddler from Gotham. This kid who sings about the lunch trench. Like,
yep. Well, you actually, Dawson,
you gotta go as Riddler for Halloween or something, man.
I'm telling you, in all fairness, Dawson, I mean, you did break out your guitar and sing this song live once.
I've been thinking about blowing up my toaster, but then I would make my bread hot and hard at the same time.
Only because he played it like 3 times. I was like, I might as well just whip up my guitar and do this.
It was great. It was awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I wanted to bring that up. I figured that'd be a nice transition. But you did bring in your Watchmen stuff, man. So I'm getting okay. So here's the deal. All seriousness and all transparency, I am getting HBO Max tonight when this stream is done. I've been holding off because everything that's been on HBO Max, I already have physical media for, and I haven't had a need to get it. But tomorrow is Titans season 3.
Okay.
And which means tomorrow, starting at 8 p.m., we'll actually be starting our Titans watch parties. So,
nice.
Yep. So Tiffany reminded me today. She's like, "Hey, Titans starts tomorrow." For some reason, I haven't been seeing my own wife's tweets, and I don't know why. I follow her, but it's like Twitter will show me like random crap, but it won't
I don't
show
see
me
my
what
wife's
I want.
tweets either.
That sounds funny.
She doesn't even have Twitter.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're the only one who sees your wife's tweets.
No, I can't.
Just to kind of quickly interject here, Mladen was just asking for the link again, just because it kind of scrolled up too far in the chat.
Gotcha. But yeah, so she reminded me today. She's like, hey, are you gonna get HBO Max? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, well, you know that Titan starts tomorrow, right? And I'm like, oh crap, yeah, that's right. And then of course I can't find my email that gives me a discount for having had DC Universe this whole time, but that pretty much just adds and compounds to the fact of my disappointment in DC Universe. So there you go. Pretty much.
It's good.
It even goes out with a bang like that, because I sent them an email actually to tech support, and I said, hey, can you send me another link to the discount thing? I said, because that's the only way I'm keeping DC Universe. I said, if you don't resend me the link, I'm canceling it as soon as I sign up for it, because I have no need then for DC Universe. So thank you guys for making a platform that I absolutely don't need now and making your own platform irrelevant to me. Nice. Thank you. You guys are awesome. But I do plan on
canceling that though, the DC Universe.
So no, it's not being canceled as a service. What it's doing is it's going to be all comics.
It's like DC's Comixology. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be all comics, and which is fine. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really like the platform for reading comics, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
It's chunky. It's clunky.
Physical all the way, man. Physical all the way.
I can read ebook. I can read. What were you gonna say, Matt?
Oh, I said that's eventually gonna go out the window though. Printed comics.
I know.
But
yeah,
I'm okay with ebooks. It's just comic books is just even on a tablet I just can't do it, for me at least.
There's a couple of services. There's a couple of services that do it well where I can actually read it like that. I don't like the DC Universe version of reading the comic book. Like, it's weird. The way that it's presented,
like turn the page.
Yeah, I don't know.
Straight up, my backpack that I took with me on this trip is like stocked full of graphic novels to read. Like, I mean, I had Watchmen in here, and I had Master Race, and Batman Hush, and Superman Unchained. Like, my backpack was just like filled to the brim with all these different books.
I gotta go find my Unchained trade.
Speaking of Watchmen, before we transition, have you guys all seen the Watchmen TV show? Because I have not.
I have not either.
How is it? How is it?
It's good. It's like saying like I want to see a different interpretation of this story, and it's its own thing. It takes place after the comic, not the movie, so it focuses on the comics elements, and it takes place by focusing on the Minutemen, but using the Watchmen as a preface. So it's showing you where these characters are at, but then it focuses on the Minutemen.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Because I know that Jeremy Irons plays Osmond
Panthers
Davis.
won today, Rel.
Yeah, like I said, it takes place after the comic, so it's years after the comic, but it focuses on the preface of the Watchmen, but at the same time, the real focus is the Minutemen. Its focus is one or two characters of the Minutemen, and it's really one of them. It's Hooded Justice.
Then, because Hooded Justice went missing in the book.
Yep.
So this is where that kind of fills in the blank. And to be honest, like, there's a lot of contemporary work in it, but it works. Like, I'm not going to say it doesn't. It works. I enjoyed it. Like, I was like, oh, shit, this is a different take. I like this. This is actually quite good.
So, if it centers more around the Minutemen, why not just call it Minutemen instead of Watchmen? Because, like, if we titled it Watchmen,
Watchmen has the brand recognition.
Because it won't sell as the Watchmen title. Minutemen, who will watch that? Nobody knows.
Well, they're still Watchmen at the end of the day, because Watchmen is a collaborative name. It's not saying that. And the show still focuses on the Watchmen. It still focuses on certain characters from Watchmen, especially, I don't want to give too much away, but it focuses on the what happened kind of thing. Like, what happened to these characters? What happened to Osmian Days? What happened to Dr. Manhattan? What happened to Silk Spectre? What happened to, Night Owl? Like, what happened to all these guys? So... what happened to Rorschach is really a question too. What happened to him after he died? You know, what was his imprint on society? Because he dropped in the journal at the end of spoiler, at the end of the book, he drops the journal in. So what happens to that? So it kind of fills in the gap.
Just leaves your brain going, I don't know what's going on here.
I love that episode.
Like, Salama Parkwell, I am a Palpatine.
Like I said, forget Ben Solo lives forever. Pepe Sylvia lives forever.
No. Well, hey, Dawson, I know you got a dip there, man. But hey, thank you for thanks for coming on for a minute, man. It's good seeing you, man. I hope you're enjoying your time in Vegas. You know, don't do too many debaucherous things while you're there, dude.
I can guarantee that. It's all good. Thanks again, guys. Good to see you,
buddy. Love you, man.
Take care, Dawson.
All right.
Bye, Dawson.
But yeah, so keep it in DC because I only really have a couple more things that I want to talk about. We got on this whole horror movie thing, which was awesome. I really dug that, which was fun. But so let's talk about Wonder Woman for a second because I have not had a chance to talk about this yet, and I know it's now a couple of days old, but I did want to touch on it a little bit. Like I have been on the record as stating. Like, I said this about Coming to America 2, even like we did a whole video on like why I don't want to see Coming to America 2 at home. Right. And I've stood behind that. I want to see Wonder Woman in the theater. And now I'm kind of ticked off because they reclosed my movie theater for the next 3 weeks. Because apparently you can still do everything else. I literally got a haircut, folks. Yeah, I got a haircut. So no more being teased. I look like I got a mullet, even though I didn't have a mullet. It was all one length, but I have curly hair. Curly hair, so it looked that way. But now, hey, it's all short, and I more resemble my my picture now that Dawson made of me. So there you go. Yeah. But I don't understand now why I can do everything else but go to the movie theater again.
That's weird. That's weird. Like the gym. Yeah.
I'm really trying to understand, folks. I'm trying. Look. I'm really trying to process this. Like I'm even right here, just in case you guys get too close to me on the stream. You know, I got my mask, right? Like I'll put on my mask and we'll be safe. We'll do what we got to do. But you know what? You start messing with my movies, I start getting pissed off. And I'm starting to get pissed off about this because I have said, and I don't understand, the whole campaign even for the movie was don't watch this movie at home. Even when you go to the movie theater, there's a commercial before your movies now that says don't watch it on a small screen. It shows this little small screen of Wonder Woman bouncing around from Wonder Woman 84. Watch it on the big screen where it's supposed to be. And now they're like, oh yeah, because of money. And I really don't think that there's a win-win. There's no win. It's a no-win situation, I think, for DC and for Warner Brothers with this. And so I get it. I understand it. But like, I'm happy and not happy at the same time because it's like I've told Nicotina several times. Am I going to watch it when it comes out? Absolutely. But I want to see it at the movie theater. I want that experience for Wonder Woman because I have to agree with some other people who've talked about it that, like, what's it going to do? You know, like, how's it going to survive as a film? People are going to see it, but it's going to be just like Bill and Ted 3 was. Bill and Ted 3 was such a disappointment at the same time of being an exciting thing for me because I'd waited for years and years and years as a huge fan of the Bill and Ted movies. But when I had to watch it at home, you know what it seemed like? It seemed like a direct to DVD release, and it didn't seem like that big of a deal. And it was just like here and gone, and nobody talked about it. Like if it had been in the theater, I think it would have had more buzz. People would have talked about it. It would have been a more exciting thing. And I'm really concerned now that now Wonder Woman's going to come. It's going to hit a couple of theaters, but depending upon what theaters are even open come Christmas, God only knows. And then it's just going to be gone. And I'll be honest with you, I would rather, I know this is kind of unpopular. I would rather wait. I would gladly wait. I would gladly wait. I would gladly wait to see it in the theater.
I think
okay, so not everybody at once. Not everybody at once. So that's just my personal take on it because I love movies that much and I love seeing it. I love seeing movies in the theater, and this is one of those movies that, especially right now for DC, everything is important, right? Every movie is important right now for DC. Everything that comes out, and including this, it's a very, very important thing. And that's just my take. Matt, do you have any thoughts on this? We'll just go around kind of so everybody doesn't talk at once.
Well, I mean, You have some pretty good points, but you got to understand the circumstance of Wonder Woman 84. I mean, this movie should have came out probably a year and a half ago, and it's been sitting around because it went through stages where they wanted to do reshoots, and then Jeff Johns being removed, that Patty Jenkins was able to go back in and change some of the look. Cheetah's original look was not going to look like she did in the movie that we see now. She was going to look a lot more cartoonish, a lot more like, not what Patty wanted. And then we look at this now is that Wonder Woman 84 is only going to be on HBO Max for 1 month for free. And if you don't get it in that month, from Christmas to January, they're going to remove it. And then you have to wait. And then they're going to put it on Amazon Prime, and they're going to charge people, and they're going to make money from it. But at the same time, this movie has to come out, because if this movie is stalled any longer, it's going to stall other films that they have lined up. And those movies aren't going to come out. So Zack Snyder's Justice League is not going to come out at the time they want. They're going to push everything else back. But then at the same time, it's a great segue to say, hey, let's take advantage of this opportunity. Let's put it on HBO Max. And now we got Amazon and we have Roku coming. We can get all these people to flood to HBO Max to pay $14.99 for 1 month, which is a ticket price, to watch Wonder Woman 84 at the convenience of your home if you really want to watch it. So now you're just going to boost that subscription, and half the times when people subscribe to something, they get the first month free, right? So you automatically are going to pay for the second month because you're going to stay with it, because you're like, oh, they have these shows coming too, and these things are going to happen. Well, let me just wait till Zack Snyder's Justice League. I already subscribed. So, and then Titans is now out. So it's like... Titans is going to lead you directly to Wonder Woman 84. And then when Titans is done, Wonder Woman 84. So they've already kind of sucked you in to this like little bubble. And once they got you, they're like, well, Zack Snyder's Justice League is around the corner. I'll just wait, and I'll pay these $14.99 prices.
The one thing I am glad is that they're not pulling a Disney in the fact that they're. I love the fact that
not
they're
paying $30 to watch Mulan.
Right?
What's
terrible.
$30?
It was $30.
Oh, good.
I paid it.
Did you really?
My fiance wanted to watch it, and she's a big Mulan fan, so I paid it. And she fell asleep in the first 10 minutes. She fell asleep.
Let's all have a moment for Matt.
I feel, and the worst,
10 minutes.
Well, the worst part is I felt so bad because all the trailers looked so, like, at least to me, looked really cool. I'm like, okay, they're gonna turn this into something a little more, you know, like a traditional, like a wuxia movie or something like that. I'm like, okay, this will be neat. And then I'm just like, oh. That's why I wanted to wait till it was going to be like the free thing, you know what I mean? Like when it was just going to be on the available service. But the weird thing for HBO Max is I have to double check this for us, Tony, because far as I know, the same day theatrical HBO Max thing is only for the United States.
Yeah.
And there are certain areas of Canada, basically how HBO Max works here is you have to have a Crave subscription, which is a separate streaming service. Then you will get the HBO Max service basically by getting that service. It's like so you'll get it. But I know that like the Snyder Cut will probably come out normally, but Wonder Woman I think will be kicked down the road for whenever they put that out. And the worst part is there's certain areas where I live that, or not where I live, but like in the GTA, they're going back into round 2 of lockdown. Like Mississauga and Brampton and Peel region are all going into lockdown again. So all the non-essential retail is closing again. So who knows if the theaters will be open on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
So, and the worst part is people like I don't think the UK has HBO Max, do they?
No, they don't have it yet, and that's what a lot of people are waiting for. Is even I don't even think, and I hate to say this, because they have something lined up with Sky. They're trying to get something lined up to get it on Sky, but depending on the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is it's looking to be more and more May than it is March now, but if they can't lock something in by that time, they're still going to do limited releases in theaters for Zack Snyder's Justice League in the UK. And they're going to do, they're going to set something up so people can watch it, and they're going to find ways so it's accessible to people because they want it to be international. Because that's going to be their fucking tentpole movie for that year.
Heck yeah.
So.
And like China was always, or at least it has been for the last 4 years, has been a pretty big sell as far as getting anything out there. But so I don't know how HBO Max is working out there. I know that China, I don't know what their whole situation is as far as lockdowns and whatnot. I haven't kept up with that, but I do hope that everybody is able to get a chance to see this thing sooner rather than later, safely as possible.
See, you can call me Joker. I would disagree with you here because look, all the marketing and all the toys and stuff that have come out already, I mean, have already run their course for Wonder Woman 84. So they're not. I mean, plus you don't put out a movie on Christmas Day and think that you're going to sell toys for it for Christmas. Like it's already run its course, man. Like I've got my Wonder Woman action figures, man. I've already got those. Like it's not doing anything else. They're not bringing back anything for Wonder Woman. I love you. You know I love you. You can call me Joker, but I see a lot of people comment on toys, and they don't understand how toys work. If there's one thing that I do understand, like it's how toys work, because
yeah. Well, the other thing is like
I have a house full of toys, and like that's why like every time I see somebody go Star Wars toys are crashing hard, and all the Star Wars toys sucks, and nobody wants Star Wars toys. And I say, that's not true. Mm-hmm. That's not true. There are always going to be what we call peg warmers for yeah. There are always going to be what we call peg warmers for stuff.
Yeah, that's from the. What do you got? That's the one I got from Disneyland, where you got to build it yourself.
Oh yeah.
You got to put it together.
Is that the one that Nicotina got mad at you for using on the stream, Enosh?
No. Mine is this guy right here. I got this electronic one, and I love this guy. Yeah. I try not to use it too much because Nicotina gets mad, but this is ours too. What's up, guys?
Popcorn
I feel like I could do like a ventriloquist. Calm down. Okay, now look. My question is, what do you think about Wonder Woman 84 coming out in on streaming instead of theaters? Okay. Well, that's an interesting point, but I mean, there's going to be some people who actually want to see it at the theater, don't you think? Look, don't look away from me. Yeah, it's important to me.
It's both funny and adorable.
Hey, don't talk that way to me. Look, I'm glad that you like to stream stuff, and I know it's easier for you with your projection and everything, but some of us would like to go to the theater. It's not a bad sign. It's not a bad sign. Are we really going to have this conversation?
R2.
Come on, R2. Look, are we really going to have this conversation? You want to have that kind of conversation live right now? Okay, well, say goodbye. Say goodbye to everybody, and let's put you away, okay?
Bye, R2.
Don't shake your head at me. That's not cool. All right. Well, say goodbye. All right. Bye.
Fire to.
Okay.
The chat missed a perfect opportunity to quote Short Circuit.
Oh, God. 95. Now there's a movie that needs a reboot, right?
Yeah.
Like that would be that'd be a great movie to reboot. But
they are.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. Rebooted Short Circuit.
Yeah. They've been working on it for a few years, but it kind of went away.
Oh, you know what? I want to go around real quick. Metro, what are your thoughts about Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman 84 going direct to streaming?
Yeah.
I actually think it's for the better. Like Matthew brought up, is that if they don't release it to theaters, it's going to be a logjam for everything else. Because look at what's happening at Marvel right now, with everything getting pushed back. Because Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out in August or September. But because it was going to follow a plot point from the Black Widow movie, it had to get pushed back to account for that. And now Black Widow's not even coming out till next April?
Yeah.
And WandaVision also got delayed recently too. It was supposed to come out December, got delayed into January for some reason rather than just releasing in December.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What about you, Mladen? Do you have any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just want to touch upon a couple of topics that you mentioned about Wonder Woman. First of all, we don't know how long this whole pandemic would last, so that I think it's a good thing they're releasing it in theaters and HBO Max on December, and also it's a nice Christmas present.
Sure.
Since we don't have Star Wars right now, movie-wise. I'm saying so. There's something uplifting in this depressing time that we really need.
Yeah.
The second, you said that DC needs a boost. Well, so does HBO Max. They really need to boost some subscribers, and I think it's a perfectly logical thing to put Wonder Woman 84 on HBO Max. It will definitely boost some subscribers. I don't know how much, but and I'm hopeful it brings home the money. That's all.
Yes.
I would just finish that off just by saying, like, I get it. I totally understand the why. Okay, I totally understand the why. It's just and you know there's no answer for it, right? There's no. I get it. We don't know when this thing's going to end. We don't know when if ever things will get back to normal in the foreseeable future, right? I mean, eventually, I think things will, but everything's up in the air right now. So I get all that. It's just really frustrating as somebody who loves movies, you know, that you want to be able to see the movie on the big screen. And it's one of those movies that I was really holding out for because it seemed like there was a big push that, you know, even with Patty Jenkins and like I said, even the commercial that was put out about it was like, hey, this is one of those movies you want to see on the big screen. This was meant to be seen on the big screen. And, you know, I'm hoping now that I get to see it, because if my theater's open, like even with having HBO Max, I'm going to go watch it at the theater.
Same.
And then I'm going to come home and watch it at home, you know? But you know, it is what it is. A couple of things that kind of snuck up on me, and before we get to the last thing, but Ryan brings up, was having problems with his internet, so he kept going in and out. But he brought up, I know about this Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I know that there's a lot of kids who are into that stuff. Like, are you guys familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah, I
yes.
heard about that game.
No.
If you're not familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, we were talking about horror, and that's why this comes up, is because it was basically like a video game. It was like a video series or whatever. It's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese at night. Whatever happens there with like all the animatronic things, like go crazy, and the place is called like Freddy's or whatever, but it's not Freddy Krueger. It's this like big bear or whatever. And they got
Bear's Pizza. Yes.
Yeah, they got toys of it and all this stuff, and kids love it and everything. It's a little creepy to me, but it's basically the animatronics and stuff. So I did hear about that. But also, did you guys hear, speaking of Wes Craven and all that stuff, did you guys hear Scream 5 is coming? That they just wrapped Scream 5?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I heard.
So I just introduced my kids last week. Last week we watched all 4 Scream movies back to back with my kids, because my one son, he's a huge horror movie buff, and so we watched all 4 of the movies. And my wife brought it up. She goes, "Well, what about Scream 5? You know, I heard that's coming out." And I was like, "I haven't heard anything about that." And I had heard that they were talking about it, but I didn't even know that they had actually gone full on about it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that
aren't they bringing Matthew Lillard's character back? Like they're saying he didn't actually die, and that was like the 5th one.
Oh boy,
that's what I heard. I don't know.
Zoinks.
I hope that's not true.
well, like, hey, Scoop, we gotta catch this ghost face.
Did you guys hear like this? Well, actually, let's let everyone comment on what their thoughts on Scream 5 are, and then I'll mention my thing about Matthew Lillard.
I don't know. Do you think at this point? I mean, like, look, I love the movies, but as this, watching them back to back to back to back, it just really feels like the idea gets played out over time.
It's because it's the same idea for each of them.
Yeah.
Basically, right? Like, hey, let's just change spots. Let's just change kids. You know?
It's always interesting. It's always interesting trying to figure out who the killer is, but it's always like just a slight twist on, you know, it's like I said, it's always trying to figure out, well, who's the killer this time, and like, what's their motivation? Well, how are they connected somehow to the original thing? And basically realizing by this point that what's her name, Sydney, you know, the character of Sydney in the movie, like by this point would be an absolute wreck of a person.
like
in real life
and stuff, you know,
like Jamie Lee Curtis in like the later Halloween movies, like the old
my God
timeline.
Can you imagine living through all of that stuff and then constantly
that's why we did
infuriating your life?
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. There was no Mike Myers in it.
What were you saying? Right? Yeah, what were you saying, Metro?
Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna call who the killer is in Scream 5 right now.
Oh,
it is going to be Matthew. It is going to be Matthew Lillard's character because of his role in the movie Hackers. Does everybody remember that movie at all?
Yes, we remember.
I've seen that movie.
Yep, as serial killer. So there you go. Matthew Lillard is the killer.
Are you challenging?
Serial killer. I like
Tiffany. Tiffany tells the story all the time when her dad first saw the original Scream movie, and the killers walked in for the first time. He apparently told Tiffany, who had already seen the movie, said, "They're the killers." And Tiffany looked at him and goes, "What?" And he goes, "I've never seen the movie before, but they're the killers." She goes, "Why?" She goes, "Because they're as soon as they walked in the door, they played Don't Fear the Reaper." And he's like, he caught on to it, and he's just like, "They're the killers." And he was right. He was right.
That's great.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of hidden stuff like that in Scream, which I love. I love it
too.
I just don't know if I don't know. I will always wait until I see something before I say it is or not going to work.
It's an avalanche of salt.
One next door to my house. One of the Screams. There's a building next door to my house. It's a cool apartment looking thing, and they filmed one of the Scream movies there. I'm sure.
Oh, nice.
Really? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's interesting.
That's
and
cool.
Rel here says they filmed Scream 5 in my hometown. So. I will always reserve judgment because I think there's too many people who want to jump on that bandwagon and just go, well, everything sucks, and it's just going to suck just because. But by the time you get to the 5th movie in a franchise like that, I don't know, man. That's the first I've heard of Matthew Lillard coming back. If that's true, is that absolutely confirmed?
I know that Courtney Cox and David Arquette are coming back. I don't know about anybody else. I know Nev Campbell's coming back. I heard about Matthew Lillard, but
I heard that they're coming back.
What they should do with Scream 5 is do what Final Destination 5 did, and that's make it a prequel, but don't say it's a prequel until the very end of the movie.
Please, no.
Dude, I love that about Final Destination.
Wet Hot American Summer? No, don't do that.
Let me tell you something. When I saw that, my mind was blown, dude. My jaw was on the ground when I saw that it was.
There's no indication in the movie that it's a prequel until the very end when you see the plane ticket. It's like, oh shit, this is where it all began.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I liked. We were talking about, Paranormal Activity, and in the marked ones, which was kind of like a weird, side, project to the whole thing. All of a sudden, at the very end, they go through a portal and the dude is in the house from the first one, and you get to see actually a scene from the movie from a different angle from what's her name going downstairs when she's possessed and screaming like that. And it was like, we actually got to see that. That's pretty cool. I dig stuff like that. Also, did you guys ever see, speaking of Paranormal Activity, did you guys ever see the Facebook thing that they did with Paranormal Activity? Did you see that? There was a viral
marketing campaign?
Yeah, it was an interactive thing. This guy started a Facebook page, and it's actually still out there. You can still find it. And it was interesting because I watched it in real time, which was really interesting. Because basically, it was like another movie set within that world. And but you didn't know it was a movie. It was a guy's Facebook page. He had a complete story background and stuff. He was divorced. His daughter was coming to live with him, and he's got like all these posts about, hey, yeah, my daughter's coming to live with me, blah, 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 blah. And like stuff starts happening. She gets possessed. Like they go full tilt, like he ends up dying, and it's like all found footage stuff that he's filming like on Facebook Live and stuff. And it's like, it's really cool. It was really cool, at least to watch it in real time while it was happening, because the guy was updating every day, and it lasted like 2 weeks. And so it wasn't just like found footage. It was like real interactive viral kind of marketing kind of thing where it was like, once you found this guy, you could friend him and he would friend you back. And then you couldn't message him. You couldn't do anything like that, but you just watched his posts come in. And so every day a post would come in and you'd go like, hey, what's going on? And it'd just be like, hey, took my daughter to a birthday party today and like took these pictures and she's like zoned out. And there was like this weird, like kind of abnormality in the picture or something. He's like, strange things are happening. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I like stuff like that. Speaking of breaking the fourth wall, kind of the last topic that I kind of had for tonight, unless anybody has anything else, is finally there's confirmation that we're going to get Deadpool 3. The crowd goes wild.
In the immortal words of Deadpool, fuck you, Wolverine.
I just want to see Deadpool like run into Tom Holland's Spider-Man and just say, dude, I'm a huge fan. I've loved you since you were Tobey Maguire. Like that's what I need to see.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yes.
That'd be classic.
That would be classic. That would be classic. That'd be great.
Didn't Deadpool and Spider-Man fight in the comics, or did they team up? I don't remember.
I think they did both.
They did both, yeah. It was like a Deadpool. They did a Deadpool versus Spider-Man comic or something.
Yeah, that's the one I'm remembering, but I don't remember if they ever teamed up.
That's a what if, though. It's a what if comic, I think.
No, it's they did a run. It was Deadpool and Spider-Man. I have it somewhere. It's in one of these stores. Let me go look. Let me see if I can find it.
What was the one thing that I really wanted to see with Deadpool? Well, they were making a new Blade, and I am hoping that they make some sort of joke about Blade in the new Deadpool movie. I am hoping so.
Well, that they have to do just a ton of jokes about Disney,
Lucasfilm, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, you name it. Yeah.
Stop that! Stop that! What have you, etc. Actually, I thought of you today because there's this new there's a new one of those things that you can use like on TikTok or whatever. What are they called? Things, but like you could take your eyes and your mouth and put it onto like somebody else's picture. And so like I got a picture of Mike Zeroh on my phone and I actually put my eyes on it. So like you could actually like say things as Mike Zeroh. And I thought that might be a new way that I could interview Mike Zeroh on the channel, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to get creative.
That would be spectacular. We'll figure something out.
Exactly. What'd you find, Matt?
I couldn't find it. But I did find, I know which one I'm looking for. It's this one right here. It was 2016 to 2019. Here it is. Nope,
there it is. Okay.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
Yeah, this was the run they did. It was this run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the
it was actually quite,
writer artist on it?
I forgot who wrote this shit.
If it's too far, don't worry.
I don't know. It's just not loading. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was. There it is. Thompson and Hepburn.
Okay.
Yeah, they both did it together, and then they would bounce off, and I think he stayed with the run, the whole way through. But it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I stopped reading it after a while. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of.
I kind of want to pick up some newer Spidey books, just because one of my favorite DC artists moved over to Marvel, so I want to see what he's doing. Patrick Gleason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I loved what he did with like Super Sons and Batman and Robin over at DC, so I kind of want to. I've seen because I follow him on Instagram on another account I have, and I love like the Spidey pencils he posts on there. It's really cool.
Well, I'm still buying Spider-Man, so I can show you what it looks like.
Oh, it's great!
I still actively collect comic books, actually.
Wait, hold on a second. It's a rare specimen. Let's look at the rare Ray Liotta is out there collecting comic books still, wearing his Venom shirt.
Wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
He still believes, ladies and gentlemen. He's still a true believer.
I want to believe.
It's one of my favorite ones, the first Venom.
Sorry, can I ask Tony a question?
Yeah.
So you're still collecting Spider-Man comics. Are you caught up with the Nick Spencer run?
What numbers are we looking at?
50 something, 53, 52.
This year's stuff then. 53, 52. That must be no. I don't think I have. I got a few gaps in my. I have collection that goes from about 180 to about 350, and then I have a gap that goes from about 750 to pretty much now. You know what I mean? But I know there's a few spots like the third series where they went back and put the numbering back to 1. I don't have any of that stuff, actually. I have none of that run. And then when they redid the numbering back to, I think it was like 795 is where they went back to it. I have those starting there again. I wish I did have those ones, but I don't.
Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. I was just gonna ask you about your thoughts on the twist, but since you are not reading currently Nick Spencer, I'm not gonna say anything more. That's all.
Thanks for not spoiling it, because I'm good again.
You're welcome.
It's not really
everything. We spoil everything here on the channel. We're just gonna spoil it all. That's actually the next segment. We're gonna go to Matt and just let Matt spoil for us everything that's coming in the next 2 years.
Well, it's not Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. I'll say that.
But it is. I was gonna joke it'd be his Hawkman or something like that, but now we got all this Hodge already.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Would you say that idea is
stupid
nonsense?
Just asking.
I talked to you. I think me and Enosh, we had a conversation about the Justice League movie and Green Lantern in particular. I think was one of the questions, wasn't it? I can't remember the conversation.
Funny enough, I should know this. I literally just watched that today, and I cannot remember.
You can't remember what?
Whether or not Matt had asked that question. I just watched your interview, Matt, with Enosh today.
Oh,
no,
well, that was
off
no, that yeah, that was,
I know that was a while ago, but I'm saying like I just watched that.
Yeah, no, and that was a while back. I mean, so much has happened. About 5 months so
ago,
much has happened since Matt and I sat down and had that first talk and interview, man. Like so much has transpired, man, over that time.
Did you like some of this stuff? I saw you call me Joker. We did talk to Fabian. We're talking to him right now about that interview and about getting him on for that Deadpool run, to get Fabian on the show to talk to him about his run.
Mm-hmm. Very cool, because I loved some of the X-Men stuff he did in the 90s personally, but so that'd be cool to kind of hear you guys talking about that.
Well, look at here. You say Ryan Reynolds and look who shows up.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Not Garrett Smith, apparently.
I just got the notification that like this was happening. I'm like, really? Damn it. Well, I've been Twitter DMs and all that other stuff is just not working. You know.
Yeah. Well, Matt, I just wanted to say this real quick. Like, I've been a fan since the Skull days, so it's cool to be on the same stream as you, man.
I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I'm a terrible content creator. I'm a monster of a human being, according to certain people. But no, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I see.
What a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hey, Matt, would you be shocked if I had said that I've been watching you since the Coney 2012 days?
God, yeah. That was so cringe.
Metro beat me.
That was so cringe back then.
It's okay, Jarbo.
But the thing is, those guys, we are all from San Diego, and no one likes them there. I just want to like that is true. Like no one likes them there. Yeah, that's right, Enosh. Anyway, what's going on here? What are you guys up to?
Oh, you missed some speculation about Scream. We had predicted who the killer was.
In Scream 5.
Yes.
Scream 5's coming out, man. They just finished. They just wrapped filming.
I'm going to say it's a Canadian. That's my thoughts. Well, because they said they don't want it to be meta. They said they don't want it to be meta. So I think making the Canadian the killer is the best way to go about it.
Probably good. Well, I mean, he will say he's sorry after he stabs you.
Well, yeah. I mean, anything less than that is an act of genocide.
Sorry.
Hey, I am so sorry.
Was that sharp there, eh? Oh,
buddy, do not even be bringing up the accent there, bud.
What movie is that? What movie is that from? Where the killer? Oh, I think that's a Isn't that like a McFarlane?
Fargo? You thinking
no,
of Fargo?
no. Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane. He did like I think it was like a take, like one of those like things on Family Guy where they break to something else. It's like that's like a killer discovering that it hurts to stab somebody, and the guy goes, "Oh, I'm going to try this," and he stabs or something. He goes, "Wow, that's what that feels like this whole time."
When they go to jail.
That wasn't a cutaway gag. That was in an early episode when Peter, Joe, and Quagmire were accused of burning down the British pub that was formerly the Clam.
Oh,
the guy comes in wanting to stab him, and then it's like, boom, ow! So that's how it feels like. Wow. That really hurt.
I deserve to be in here. Yeah.
Yeah. But but you guys bring up you brought up Ryan Reynolds, Matt, and I mean that's one of those things. Why won't that idea go away?
It's just it's an idea that's pushed. That narrative is so hard because it's like people want it, but people don't know what they're asking for. They don't know what they want, so they're gonna call for something that is just so like. He was not bashing on Ryan Reynolds. I bash on the movie because it was never intended to be that film, and it was never intended to be that bad, but it was. And so now we have to go with this impression that Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern is what it will be and what it will always be. And you're not going to give him another opportunity to fix the mistakes that happened. He's just going to pick up and move on, and he did. And to say that we're going to bring back that Green Lantern is like, people don't understand what package goes with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to understand, you got to get everything that went with that movie. You can't just say, oh, we're just going to take him and just put him in the role again and give him another opportunity. No, you don't fucking do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to go call fucking Brandon Routh and then swap him out with Henry Cavill as Superman. Like, you
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Like, oh, okay, we don't remember the movie where a fucking kryptonite rock fell on him and for some, I don't even know what happened in Superman Returns. I totally forgot. But it's like, you just don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do it.
It's just weird to me because like he was never intended to be in that movie. He was never intended to be really in that world. I mean, I know that they wanted to start the whole DCEU with that, but it just didn't work.
He cast his Green Lantern though. He got his Green Lantern he wanted back in. He cast him before shooting Justice League. Like, he was cast for the film, and they even shot with him. They like Kevin Smith has even talked about this. Like, they had shot with him on set, and it was like prominent that they had everything set up, and they did it. So it wasn't something where they shot with, like, Zack's not going to shoot a scene without an actor to play the character that the character is supposed to be in the scene. They're not going to shoot one side and then shoot another. It's just, he's not going to do that.
Well, this is the tragic thing about all that is that Mark Strong was great as Sinestro.
Amazing.
And that final scene, like I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't understand why they couldn't have made the first half of the movie Sinestro teaching Green Lantern, teaching Hal Jordan, I should say, and they have to fight
Parallax,
the fart cloud, and and they fight the fart cloud, but they beat the fart cloud, and Parallax is put down and everything, and they put him back in his prison. They do all that stuff, but in that we get that scene that we got instead of as a stinger at the end, we get that midway through where Sinestro is trying to do his own thing, and he puts on the ring, becomes the Yellow Lantern, and he's trying to convince Hal, who has now become his buddy that they've kind of bonded through this experience of fighting Parallax, to come with him and to do this thing because he's new and he's fresh, and you don't understand. I've been here for however long as a Green Lantern.
You just posed a great idea. You just posed a great idea. You fixed one of the biggest plot holes, which is if you would have done that route, right, we would have never needed to come back to Earth. We could have stayed in space and learned more about Oa. We could have learned more about the universe, the different sectors. And at the same time, we would have learned a better way of defeating Parallax by using the power of Parallax's fear to have Sinestro overtake it because he's the captain of the squad. And then he succumbs to that, which would have gave him more purpose as a character, and then try to convince everybody to go with him. Like, he doesn't want to take the ring off. Like, nah, you know, this is what I am. And then that would have led to a third act, which would have led to Hal becoming the force
Green
to stop
Lantern
it.
Corps, whatever. Yeah.
Yes, you fixed the problem right there. So
you've seen the animated movies?
Oh,
so there you go, Hollywood. Here I am. Here I am. You want to fix your Green Lantern movie? Let's go back and redo that since we're redoing all these other movies, right? Let's go get the Enosh cut, and we'll do that. I love it.
I've seen it. It's real.
It's real. It is real. Trust me. I finished it. I finished it a few years ago when I first saw the movie. I want to say to Thomas here. He says when Family Guy was still good. I will just tell you this: tonight's episode of Family Guy was absolutely one of the strongest episodes of Family Guy that I've seen in years. It was absolutely hilarious. They finally replaced Adam West as the mayor of Quahog. And so the joke is that, like, at first Peter says, well, you know, why don't we just go get another Batman and make them, and Lois says, we've been over this before, Peter, and it doesn't work. It doesn't trend. It doesn't go well. Like, you can't just go get Val Kilmer and make him your mayor and stuff. And so they go through this whole thing. They end up getting Sam Elliott.
Oh yes,
yes.
Actually, Sam Elliott
as Cowboy West, because he's Mayor West's cousin, and they go out to they go out to the Old West, and there's Sam Elliott and Sam Elliott is like the manliest man ever, and he's got the mustache and everything, and he's raising mustaches as cattle. And then it shows he's like, Peter, you got here. He's like, Peter, you got here just in time to see the miracle of birth. And he walks up, and it's like this mustache parts in the middle, and then all of a sudden, all these little mustaches are birthed out of the middle. Oh my God, it's so hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious. And Lois is trying to get the librarian who has never been named on the show. She's trying to get the librarian to be, because, you know, a woman needs to have that role. A strong woman needs to have the role, you know, and the librarian, she's a strong woman. And then they're like, oh, what's your name, by the way? And she's like, my name is Elle. And she's like, oh, Elle, that's a pretty name. And Elle Hitler. And they all look at, they're like, and so, like, the entire episode, like, all these people who were voting for her are like yelling Elle Hitler. And yeah, it's awesome. If you get a chance to see this episode tonight, is absolutely. I had to say that because when I saw when Family Guy was still good, that Sam Elliott, man, as the freaking mayor with the mustache and raising little mustaches, and Peter wants a mustache to take home for his very own, and it bites him. I'm sorry, it's just too funny. It's just too good.
So he's trying to make up for the lost mustache in that episode when he ate like 30 hamburgers.
Oh, hey, Matt. So I'm not going to share what you just put there in the chat, but dude, that's my jam. That's awesome. That's my jam, dude. Like seriously.
As soon as I saw it, I'm thinking of him.
That is my era right there. Oh my gosh. And I got to talk to you, Matt. I got to talk to you because, like, I need some pointers on getting on booking guests, because
that's funny because I did this on a it was like one of those open talks I do with people, and I did like an open talk, and somebody had asked me, you know, how do I get people on the show, and I kind of broke it down how easy it kind of was to get certain people. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a good producer who will go bend over backwards and pretty much do whatever he possibly can to get somebody on the show. And we've gone as high as having actual conversations with a particular director that is actually very open to getting on the show. And I'm not talking about Zack Snyder. I mean, we've had those discussions already, but it's like we've already had another prominent director that has done movies for DC, and he's done movie for Marvel. And so he is very open to getting on the show in the future. It's just when he's available and when we can reach him. So it's like to get those types of things, like I can get you in touch with my producer and he can tell you some of the things he does and kind of how we kind of set up our system to kind of work. And it's an ongoing system. Like I get daily emails from him on a constant basis about, we're going to interview this person. I mean, that's why I have to bring in a second person to actually do some of these interviews, because I don't have time. Like right now I'm supposed to be grading papers and I'm talking to Enosh on his stream with everybody here. So it's like
you're right where you need to be, Matt. right there, front and center, buddy.
Hey, I wish I could turn the camera.
They'll be your best friend for life.
Well, like I've got a few lined up, and I mean I got a couple that are pretty cool. Like it's breaking through that like that whole thing of like, yeah, I'm interested. Get back with me, or like, you know what I mean, or like, you know, you never know when it's gonna happen. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. You know, but then also just like coming up with like ideas of like some of the people that I'd like to have, like how do you get a hold of these people even, you know what I mean, like because there's like all these roadblocks to getting a hold of some of these people, and then it's like even trying to work with I don't mean to have like a production meeting here on the right here on the show, but it's like, you know, sometimes they're like, well, you know, contact through my agent or contact through this, and then it's like you try to find out who the heck just represents these people. Like there's so many different like hoops to jump through. It's like I was trying to find one person, and you know, I contacted the person. They're like, yeah, I'd definitely be interested. Hey, you just got to do it through my agent. And I was like, okay, no problem. And then I couldn't find anything on the freaking agent, you know, and it was like, okay, that was.
We've actually had somebody that asked us for money for the interview, and I looked at it. I like literally had like a double take. Like the fuck, like, bro, we don't even get paid. Like all the money we make on the show, we're complete nonprofit, so we give the money back in donations. And I'm like, the fuck, you want us to like break the bank just to get him on the show for an hour? Like the fuck, like I'm good, man. I'm good.
Thanks.
Wait, you can charge for interviews?
Yeah.
Whoa. What? I should do that. No, I'm kidding. No, I've had people. Yeah, I've gone down that route before, where some people have wanted like compensation of some kind, or they have some really weird requests. And
I'll tell you the price. You want to know the price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh my God! Hold on a second. Everybody, hold your horses here.
It was $7,000.
You're so stupid!
This is legit, like $7,000 to get this person.
$7,000 for an interview? Are you crazy?
They promise you get this interview, you're gonna get like 2 million hits, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck how many hits I get. I mean, I'm not paying you $7,000.
It must be Canadian dollars, because that's about $250 American, right? So like, that's the only way it could be feasible.
Man, I knew some people that paid Michael Madsen $9,000 in cash to be in their movie. You know, like they brought it.
It's a Batman fan film, right, Jarbo?
No. This was an actual feature film called Sierra Nevada Gunfight. They shot it back in 2012. And they wanted Michael Madsen as like a cameo, and so his whole thing was he wanted $9,000 in cash delivered in a brown paper bag to his house. And they did it.
Miami Vice.
I'll tell you what I think it was. He did it, and then he was still late to set because they were shooting it like in this Borrego Springs part of San Diego County, and he had to miss a day because he had like something with child court or something, family court. So that's why I think he wanted the $9,000 in cash.
He's in arrears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just didn't want anyone to know about like, he's like, no, I'm poor.
He doesn't want the ex-wife finding out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and that was, and I still haven't seen the movie, but that story just cracks me up.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
awesome.
Hollywood, like these actors,
grand.
Some of these actors, they'll charge a lot. Like, the key is to find them down on their luck.
I'm sorry, this comment. No, Joe, you're getting Joss Whedon on Light Pass. Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Take my love, take my land. My knees hurt, I cannot stand.
No, if you want to get Joss Whedon on your podcast, just give him a date. You know, find him a date.
Oh, jeez.
Something. Yeah.
Preferably someone he doesn't have to sexually assault. But still, whatever.
Hey, hey-o.
And that's wicked.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. That's interesting.
I was expecting like $1,000, if anything. Like, I mean, still, that's an exorbitant amount of money, but like, I can't even.
Yeah, that's a little that's a little out there, you know, especially for the medium and what it is, and yeah, I mean,
they wanted us to counter with an offer too, and
what?
Like right when he asked for money, I was like,
I counter with the Loch Ness Monster offer, about $350.
Oh, you should.
About $350.
You gotta do the Rick from Pawn Stars thing. The best I can do is $10.
Let me, you know what? Let me call in a specialist. I'm going to call in a specialist for this one.
I'm into like, well, you know, Matt, I've seen a lot of different stars, and there's a lot of people out there. This one, it's, you know, this star's got a little bit of patina. You know, a little bit of patina, and sometimes that adds to the value there, Matt. But sometimes it could take away. And so, at the end of the day, I don't think it's authentic, and I would say it's probably about worth $350. That's $350. About it. About $350. About $350.
It's worth $350. Then the best I can do is $100.
$100, because I'm gonna sell it for $350. I'm gonna need to make profit on that.
I have to put it in the showcase. It's gonna sit around for a while.
Yep.
And I have to frame it. So fuck the $100. $75. No better. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. That's the offer. That's the offer right there.
Hussein, my producer, thought it was funny because he's like, so they wanted us to counter offer, and I'm like, they want us to what? And he's like, yeah. So what should I say? And I was like, what do you want to say? He goes, one, I want to say, well, thank you for the offer. We do plan to counter offer with what the fuck are you talking about? Or should I say, have a good day? And I was like, whichever one is going to get the point across. He's like, it's okay. We're going to move forward. Maybe in the future, we can bring him on. And then we went to the person directly and they said, sure.
What? Yeah. So they agreed to be on the show
because we had to work through the publicist, and the publicist got us to the agent, and then the agent was pretty much trying to, like, I don't know, swindle us into paying him for this. Like... And we're like, and I'm just like, man, fuck. And so again, Hussein bends himself over backwards, and he's like, fuck this. I'm gonna get straight to the person. And he got straight to the person, and they were like, yeah, but at the moment they can't, but in the future they are. So, yeah, we're not paying shit for that interview. But
heck no, what the heck?
It was hilarious, though. It was a great email to get. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So did the person ever come on?
No, not yet. They're coming in the future. So there's going to be, I can't tell you like dates.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
But it's not going to be this year. It'd be the beginning of early next. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was just a case of an agent that just wants to get their cut.
Oh yeah, it's funny because when you talk to the publicist, they're like, I've talked to one. It was one publicist in particular that we got a message from that literally told us to, like, because we were talking a lot with the Cultured Nerd and we're talking about scoops and all this stuff that's happening, and they literally told us directly to just shut up. Like in the email, just where did you get this information? Blah 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 blah. Basically, shut up. And we're like, fuck. I mean, that's pretty direct. Like, what do you say after that? And well, Taylor responded, and we're like, well, we got this information from so and so, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And he's like, you need to call us right now. And they gave us their personal phone number. And we're like, we're not going to call you because we're working. Like, we don't have time to just stop our jobs to step out of the hospital or step out of a classroom to call a publicist to get our ass chewed out. So,
oh my gosh, that's just crazy though. I mean, really, that's.
It's their job, it's their money too, but I guess, we're putting stuff out that might be true, and they want to know where we get it, and when they want to know where we're getting our information from so that they can find what it is and close the leak and things like it turns into this whole fucking he said, she said shit, and it's like at the end of the day, you can't stop a website that doesn't make money off of information. There's nothing substantial there to say, show us your evidence. I'm like, for fucking what? We don't get paid for it, so the fuck you want me to show you?
Yeah, really. I mean, what the heck? I mean, but wow. I have actual photo of me trying to negotiate that deal for Matt. Little known fact is I am Matt's producer. Here I am actually negotiating that with at Pawn Stars. we actually went there this last year. This last summer.
Okay.
We
What's
actually
the
went
shop
there.
actually like? I've heard mixed things.
So you know what? It was kind of disappointing. It's not big. It's not big at all. It's super tiny, actually. No, it is not big at all. In fact, hold on a second. No, I can hold on a second. I'll actually.
On the show, it looks big.
On the show, it looks big, but it is not big at all. It's actually very. It's very small.
Like every other pawn shop that you've ever been to.
Yeah, but this one doesn't have power tools right when you walk in, and there's not a samurai sword off to the right.
It's a very
someone brought in Hendrix's guitars.
Everything about that show is manufactured. I mean, my favorite thing is the fact that they hire comedians off of Craigslist in order to play the patrons.
Really?
So yes, they hire comedians to be the people that bring in. There's even been whole things where they brought in this soda machine and they're like, it's this old antique relic soda machine, and they buy it and then they send it off to someone to fix it up, and the refurbished model it's an entirely different machine. Mm-hmm. And then it's you can tell it's different, but they think that, but they play it out. The people who watch reality TV are not the smartest. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
All right, let's be realistic here.
TV.
Well,
people watch my video.
I mean, yeah. At least there's some people who watch reality TV are the kind that viciously masturbate over a Doomcock video. They like to be lied to because
it's a thing.
I don't know. I'm assuming given how many people attacked me today.
I can't imagine looking at this face and going, oh yeah. That's,
I mean,
I mean, they're in the shower with Kathleen Kennedy there, but
oh no, don't do it, don't.
Well, now that just checked off my bucket list.
I'm telling you.
No, because I called out.
Look how tiny this place is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how tiny it is. It's super tiny. It's literally just one little thing. Now, you know what's bigger is the fact that they bought the property right next door to them. Mm-hmm. And so they've got they got a little restaurant, they got a barbecue style restaurant there, and that kind of thing. But this is pretty much it. I mean, it's just one little
like TV.
No, it's just one. It's just one little strip, of stuff. And I mean, they honestly, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't even the best pawn shop that I've ever been to. Be honest with you, I mean, there's lots of people there looking around, and just trying to. Find something. We were searching for something to buy. I really wanted to buy something because of where we were, and we did find stuff, but you know what we found? This is a stupid thing. What we found was little trinket stuff. The kids bought a couple of things that were some Pokemon Tamagotchi thing or whatever, and it was $5. It wasn't even they had a section where they had old school Nintendo stuff, but it wasn't even as good as some of the pawn shops here in my local area. I mean, there was just nothing there. And
what was the instrument selection like?
Oh, it was non-existent. There wasn't an instrument section.
Isn't that kind of the point? When you think about pawn shops, especially,
Yeah, no, there was nothing. Here I can show you. I actually have it's only a 5-second video of us actually in here. I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. That's like a 2-second. That's like a 2-second one. But the other one's not much longer. But because because I'm putting a video together of our trip for the channel, because a lot of people have been asking about it. But yeah, it's so just nothing. You know, like I was really surprised because I watched that show for so long. But no, I agree with you, Matt. Like it's ridiculous, like the stuff that's in there, and you know, look, all reality TV is bad. What the heck is that?
Is that one of those whiz things you blow into? And it...
What is that? That's Mladen.
Hold on. Is Mladen pulling a Jeffrey Toombs?
What are you doing, Mladen?
I was just commenting in private chat.
They have gladiators in its original container. And Bart versus the World. Did you ever play Clax?
No.
Oh, I hate that game so much.
Surprised you didn't spring for the Superman side duck there.
Well, hey, you know what? So Matt, you got to bounce here, man. But hey, dude, awesome having you on. You're always welcome anytime. Yes. We do need to sit down and just talk and just have a. Well,
let's do it. Let's do it this Thursday. I got a spot open if you're free this week, and we can just fucking do it.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Done.
Let's do it.
Woo.
Awesome.
Done. We'll go
there.
hit up Pawn Stars.
Making it happen. The $7 grand is in the mail, right?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll do it for 6. Okay. Have me on. I'll do it for 6 because you're a buddy.
You got me. You got me at 7.
All right. Hey guys, if you haven't already, go subscribe to Lightcast. Lightcast podcast. They are awesome. Lots of great stuff that's come out of Lightcast. And I'll tell you what, you know, we don't always make everybody happy with everything that we agree on or don't agree on. I know Matt has stirred some pots with some of the people, but you know what? I love everybody. And look, when it comes to Green Lantern, I get what Matt's saying. I just kind of feel the same way. Look, if I go and look, this is what I'll say before you leave. If I watch Zack Snyder's Justice League and Ryan Reynolds shows up on screen, I will go, okay, and I'll wonder, and I'll be watching much more intently, trying to see how in the world Zack or why Zack made that choice, because it doesn't really make any sense. And I'll gladly tell anybody who has perpetrated that. I'll say, hey, I'm sorry. You're right. Until then, I don't see it. It's no offense to anybody, to all those who want it to happen or whatever. It's no offense to anybody. But Matt, I know that you're a guy kind of like me. Like I like to know stuff before I just start running with stuff. And one of the things I really like about you, Matt, is anytime somebody comes against you, and like when we first started talking, and one of the first times you came on the channel, you're just like, yeah, you know, people can say whatever they want to say. It doesn't matter, because when it happens, it's going to happen. And like, what else do I have to argue about? It's going to happen. And like, so if somebody comes up with that kind of comment, like it tells me they know something I don't know. Not to say that Matt's going to always be right. Matt could be wrong. No. Something could change.
Dude, I was wrong.
That's the crazy thing about all this stuff.
All right, I was wrong this morning. I woke up at the wrong time, and I thought it was the time to wake up, and I fucked up. So, you know, shit happens.
Well, hey, stuff happens, and you know what? Stuff changes, and that's the thing about.
And I'm always wrong with my fiance. She always wins.
Oh,
so
well,
I can't win that argument.
The thing about movies is, I think we can all agree, stuff changes, right? Things change. What might be going on today is going to change tomorrow. And sometimes that happens, but like, we shouldn't be fighting about that within the fandom. You know, seriously, like, should we be fighting about whether or not Ryan Reynolds is coming back as Green Lantern? Why? Like, I that's one thing I do love about this push right now, to try to bring everybody together and try to be at peace with everybody, because it just doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's going to be a movie. It's going to come out. We're going to see it, and let's rejoice, right? We got the Snyder Cut. Let's be happy. And everybody go subscribe to Lightcast and go watch them. And apparently I'm going to be on Lightcast coming up here soon. So there you go.
Easy peasy. All right, guys. Much love. It was a pleasure. Gary, Tony, McKay, Matt Jarbo, and MK, man. Much love.
Right, man. We'll see you, Matt.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm a bit lost. So
Okay.
is Ryan Reynolds coming as Green Lantern or not? I don't even know.
They want him to come back, but he's not going to come back since he's going to work on Deadpool 3.
Okay, so that's okay. That makes
I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm and no offense to anybody who believes that he's coming back. And I mean, I know that I know that like my friend Dawson here took a big hit from somebody within the fandom who was very, very upset that Dawson took a stance on that. And I don't know, maybe I risked my own place.
Hold on. What was Dawson's stance?
So Dawson's stance was he just said very nicely, because Dawson's a nice guy, right?
I feel like everyone's tiptoeing around this issue. Like,
well, because Dawson's a nice guy, and Dawson just said when this came out really hot that Ryan Reynolds was going to be Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League. The reason given was that because Zack was using it somehow to get back at everybody, at like Jeff Johns and all them stuff. So it was like a vindictive thing. And so, you know, Dawson has said many times on stream and off stream that he's like, all he did was put out a tweet that said, hey, I just don't think that that's in Zack's nature. And I know Dawson is still in the chat. So, I mean, Dawson can always speak for himself, but I'm paraphrasing basically what Dawson said. And so Dawson just says, you know, Zack does not, nor did he ever want Ryan Reynolds. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And Dawson just simply said, look, I don't see Zack being that petty to literally change his entire movie and the focus of his entire movie to bring in somebody who is not his Green Lantern just to be vindictive to somebody when he's got so many other important things to do with this movie that basically drop a mic on all the haters, right? So like, why do that one thing when Ryan Reynolds was not originally supposed to be in his movie anyways? And that's all he said. Well, the person who said it was very upset about that and had some things to say about Dawson that, like, I don't think Dawson deserves. And you know, but it's somebody who's very outspoken in the fandom and in the community, and there are some things that he has said that, like, very much so need to be respected. But I think that it's like anything, we're not always going to agree on everything, but it doesn't mean it's a personal attack just because.
Well, I have a quick question for Dawson.
You and I disagree on stuff, Jarbo, and stuff.
Yeah,
but we're still friends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I don't understand this idea that like if you say something's going to happen, and I just say, well, I just don't see it right now. Somehow you're going to be like, F you, Enosh. And that's kind of what it came back to. Like, it was like, Dawson, you're a mother effer, you're this and everything. And it was like, whoa, okay, chill.
I mean, like, Dawson, do you want me to go fuck that guy up? Like, I mean, I got no problem. I have no real loyalties, so it's fine. And I say that because people, if it's who I'm seeing in the chat, who I thought it was right off the bat, you know, that person like lives to be a bootlicker for a particular blonde reporter out of New York. So, you know,
were they in the chat?
No, I saw someone's name.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
But if it's that person, which is who I immediately thought of, then, like I said, that person would gladly, you know, eat dinner off of Grace Randolph's feet, Quentin Tarantino style. I just put it in the private chat for you. So.
Okay,
let me see.
Because I'm not in the middle of it. I'm not in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
I don't care. I'm so tired of this infighting nonsense, and it goes to like literally like all parties. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tony's taking off.
I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, Tony. Love you, bro. Yeah, we're getting ready.
Bye.
Love you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, you know, it's like I'm not. Look, I've had my own fights with people, and I ain't looking to start fights with people. You know what I mean? But like, I just think it's weird that like, why are we fighting about this stuff within the fandom? And like, that was what this whole last week was supposed to be about. This, you know, hashtag us united, right? And you know, I don't know. It's weird to me, and I think it's kind of gotten out of control with like everybody wants to be the person to scoop something. Everybody wants to be the person to be the person to say, well, I said that this was happening, and I said that this was happening, and it's like, who cares at the end of the day? I mean, is it really that important?
Well, let's be realistic. A lot of it is ego. All right. And it's like, you know what? And there are people out there that like drop scoops, and then that might go against somebody else who said something else. And then behind the scenes, there's a lot of DMing on Twitter and a lot of commentary behind the scenes as to who's doing what, or is somebody out there trying to like undermine somebody else, or are they stealing scoops? I mean, there's a lot of this kind of crap. Like, it literally like has turned me off to the whole thing. It's one of the reasons why like I flat out, and I've told you this too, I'm like, I don't care about the Snyder Cut information anymore. I know it's coming. I'm going to enjoy it next year when I see it. Until then, I don't care. I literally just, I had to tune it out because it's so fundamentally annoying. That's all it boils down to. It's like, look, I get it. People have their livelihoods or their e-cred attached to this information, and other people are maybe not as honorable as other people, and it causes all this stuff. But it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, when it comes to the scoops, you don't know till you know. And so if Ryan Reynolds is going to make a cameo appearance in Zack Snyder's Justice League, which makes no fundamental sense on any universe, both known and unknown.
Yeah.
It just, okay, cool. Here's the thing.
That's where I'm at. It's like, okay, cool. Like, and if the person in question ends up being right, look, I would gladly give that props to him that they stuck by that. And, you know, and that was what they believed. That was the information that they had somehow or whatever that we didn't have. And I'm sorry if we just didn't believe it. You know what I mean? But like, I just don't think we should be getting mad at each other in the meantime. Like, just because one person doesn't believe what somebody else says necessarily, you know, they're taking it personally. People are taking it personally. And the thing is I like all these people, you know what I mean? Like I like people in the fandom, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not trying to fight with everybody, but it's like, you just hear some things and you're just like, okay, I can believe that. I can believe that. And then something else, and you just go, you know, I don't know. I
don't want to fight within the fandom. If there was going to be a fight, I say take it to the purveyors of fake news.
Yeah.
You know, like take it to like the people who outright lie and mislead and deceive people for profit. And you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. And that was the thing. Did you see though? Did you see that? Yeah. Well, yeah, no, totally that. I'm just saying, well, no, even today, like, what is it? I called out the bounding into comics, right? Bounding into comics.
Yes, we had that conversation.
Yeah. And then, but apparently like that triggered the fandom menace. So they were like quote tweeting that like all day.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and I don't have notifications turned on for Twitter. So like, I don't get any of that information, and I don't care one way or the other. But like I said out there today, I'm all like, some people just love to be lied to. Right. And like it's a very vague tweet, but it's aimed at a couple different things. And one of the people who quote tweeted it was Odin's movie blog. And he just put like LMAO. And I'm all like, dude, that's so funny you did that, because you are quite literally one of the people that tweet was aimed at. And you clearly just proved my point, because I could go in point for point and dismantle that entire idiot constantly. It's not hard to do. But like, this is the thing, when I talked about this beforehand with the fandom menace, they're really good at like maintaining the message. Right. They're really good at the unification of the message. Yeah. And I would love if the DCEU fandom would be able to replicate that kind of, and the thing is, they're very unified on like the overall message, but the sub fighting is now, it's like, now that you've won the war, right? Now that you've won the war, what do you do? That's the whole point. Now it's like where do you go from here?
Yeah. Yeah.
That tweet just seems like an oracle. Like, everyone seems to find like what they want to see in it, like the one you tweeted.
Yeah, I love to be vague on Twitter and like just to see the reaction, you know? Like, I should just tweet out "P is stored in the balls" and just see what people say. You know, like, just do that. And because that's a 4chan meme, by the way.
Okay.
You know,
so I have no idea where we're going here. But
all I'm saying is people interpret how they want to interpret. Okay. And that's right now, specifically in our climate, social, political, entertainment, otherwise, we're in a very weird scenario. And so it is difficult to get accurate news when there's not a lot that's being created. And that's the whole point when it comes to like covering movie news right now. A lot of it is very much speculation or projects that are coming down the line. And a lot of like a lot of the inner workings of stuff, is getting the most press because there's just nothing else happening.
Yeah. And look, I see people in the chat. I see your I see you sickness. I see some of the other the other comments, and I totally get it. I do. Like I said, there have been certain people out there outside of the fandom that have said things that like I've gone after, right? There's just too many people close to it that I really love and I respect, that I'm not, sometimes the best thing to say is nothing, right? And
I disagree, but okay.
Well, sometimes, I'm saying sometimes, not all the time. I'm just saying sometimes. Now I will say this: I got a scoop for you all. You want this scoop? So here's my scoop for you, ladies and gentlemen. Henry Cavill is out as Superman. What they're actually going to do is they're going to digitally de-age Bruce Campbell, who will now be playing the role of Superman going forward.
Why are you not having me read this, Enosh?
I'm surprised you didn't. I'm surprised you really didn't go for it and go with Nicolas Cage.
No. They're not. They're bringing in a totally different character because look at that jawline. Look at Bruce Campbell right there, young Bruce Campbell, Superman. I'm telling you right now, and he can fight Deadites. It's a big crossover that they're planning with Evil Dead.
Is that why you were asking me about Evil Dead 2 last night?
I just watched Evil Dead 2 last night, and then tonight we watched Army of Darkness. I introduced my kids to it for the first time.
Because that was the thing. Yeah, he hits me up last night. He's like, "You want to talk about Evil Dead 2? When's the last time you've seen it?" I'm like, "It's been a while." But literally just 2 months ago, I went to a drive-in. Yeah. And they had the Evil Dead Army of Darkness double feacher. But that same company that would put that on, they did like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness as a double feature at another drive-in. I'm like, I would have loved it. Show me all three. Give me all three at a triple screening. I'd be very happy.
Now tell me something. What's the difference? Because honestly, I have never seen part one. I have part one, and that's the next.
You've never watched part one?
I've never watched part one. But I've been told that it's basically
it's the same movie.
Same movie.
It's literally beat for beat the same film. So except in number one, the gang all goes out to the cabin to chill out for the weekend, and then they release the Necronomicon, or they recite the Necronomicon, unleashing the Deadites, and then from there Ash is the last one standing. It becomes dawn, and then as he's leaving, and this is where number two opens, where he's walking away. Okay. And you see like the camera do the whole weird thing, and then it just kind of takes him, and he becomes a Deadite. In the morning of that. So then at the end, then it's like you find out, because in Evil Dead 2, it's the daughter of the archaeologist and his wife coming back to the cabin to find the parents.
Yes.
And it's literally like the same thing. But it decides to ramp up the comedy, and whereas the first one is very straightforward, it's not comedic.
Okay.
It is. When I first saw it, I think I was 18 years old the first time I saw Evil Dead, and I was disturbed by the amount of blood in the end and like how gory it is at the end. Mm-hmm. But when I watched it again, it still holds up. I still love that movie. And it's like number two and number three are very stupid.
Like Army of Darkness is like full on a comedy.
It's a Three Stooges movie. It's a Three Stooges movie.
Absolutely.
Because if you know anything about Sam Raimi and those guys, they love Three Stooges, like the whole fake Shemp thing. Yep. And that's Army of Darkness is very much a Three Stooges film. Evil Dead 2 is kind of that mixture of horror comedy. The last time I saw it was I got to screen a 35 millimeter print of Evil Dead 2 back when I worked at the theater in LA, and that was the last time I saw it, and that was so cool to see in the theater. And but yeah, it's very dumb, it's very fun, because at the end it just ties right into Army of Darkness, so But yeah, no, I would say watch number one, because you get to see like it's Raimi's first big movie. It's Bruce Campbell and him for like the first time really doing this thing.
Gotcha.
And it's just like aesthetically, it's horror classic is what it is.
Gotcha. What's up, Miss Iggy 77? Good to have you here. I've just never seen it, but I've just always heard that it was the same movie, and so like I remember like when I was a kid, I saw Evil Dead 2. Right. So I didn't even see Evil Dead 1. I saw Evil Dead 2 at my friend's house one night, and I just watched it, and I was like, hey, this is cool. And I never saw it. And everybody just kept saying, it's basically the same movie. It's basically the same movie. And I was like, well, how does that work? Why is it a sequel if it's not really a separate thing, and so I just never saw it. But I own it, and so now my son wants to go back and watch it. But I just
you
said,
have to
hey,
watch it, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you have to watch it, yeah.
But two, I wanted to get my son into it, and I knew that like I was very happy that he got the shtick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's an older movie, obviously, and the you know, effects aren't, you know, great, you know what I mean, by today's standards or whatever, you know, but it's fun. And he absolutely loved it. When he was laughing and he was enjoying it and stuff, I was like, awesome, we've done something. And then we plan on, Tiffany's already watched it, but we plan on watching Ash versus the Evil Dead series as a companion to
very nice
to do that. So,
what about 2013 remake?
I liked it. I was surprised.
So
I'll be honest with you. I did a whole video that's here on the channel that I went on record as saying I'm ticked off that they wouldn't include Ash, because to me it's not Evil Dead if it doesn't have Ash. Now they threw in like a little stinger thing there at the end where it's got, you know, Bruce Campbell, and it just says a close up and he says groovy. And apparently there was a plan where for a part 2 where it would include Ash somehow, but that never happened.
Well, not only that, but in the end credits of the 2013 movie, they played the original audio of the archaeologist reciting from the Necronomicon.
Yes.
Which is really cool. And I really like that Easter egg at the end of that movie. It's not even an Easter egg, really. It's just, I guess it's just there.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen Fede Alvarez tackle another movie. Now they're doing another Evil Dead 4, which is kind of going to also be just Evil Dead from 2013 redone. It's going to be a female lead character.
Mm-hmm.
Not Jane, what's her name? Jane
Levy.
Jen Levy. Yeah. I almost said Jane Lynch. You know, that would be kind of interesting. But yeah, so I don't quite know. Like, I would personally prefer like them to finish the Ash versus Evil Dead series, like give it a proper conclusion, and then maybe like do a torch passing to the next person. If like, here's the thing, if Bill or Bruce Campbell isn't in it, a lot of fans are going to kind of reject it.
Yeah. That's how I felt about the remake, because I was just like, look, if Bruce Campbell is not in this thing, it's not Evil Dead. Unless you get to a point where you pass it off and you say, okay, Ash accomplished whatever, you know what I mean? Like, he accomplished something and did something to bring it down. What's going on there? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just replace Ash. You know, you can't just replace Bruce Campbell. You gotta have a proper passing of the torch, I feel, for that series to move on, because the fans just aren't going to accept it.
But then again, let's kind of like, we can approach it from a different perspective for a second, right? So think about it like this, right? You have a good point. Fans are going to reject it if it doesn't have the lead star in it. Okay. Well, let's look at the Terminator franchise. Mm-hmm. All 6 movies have had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, he was at the end, but fine. Yeah. Okay, fine. 5 out of 6. All right. And when's the last time you even watched Salvation? Okay, let's be fair. 2009 was a long time.
I just rewatched that a couple months ago.
Probably either this year or last year.
All right, fine.
You know what? Terminator Salvation is not that bad of a movie, Matt.
Salvation's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. I even enjoyed Genesis, and I loved Dark Fate. So, you know, but what I'm saying though is, like, look, Schwarzenegger has been involved in all 6. Okay. All right. He's been involved in all 6 to some extent, and still the box office and the audience have waned. So the idea though with Ash though is that's a little different, because it was never a blockbuster. It was always a cult, avant-garde, niche thing. And I you know what it is? It's like, from my understanding, you know, I think personally Bruce Campbell kind of hates the character. I think that he hates that he's been kind of typecast as the character. But then again, his 5 seasons or whatever, 6, 7 seasons, I forget, on Burn Notice was great. Like, I love Burn Notice. And I love Briscoe County Jr. and Jack of All Trades is one of my favorite half-hour comedies, you know? So the guy's done a lot of stuff, but in his career, he's been known as Ash. And I think that's the thing. I think he's so just done with it as a whole that he doesn't want to be involved in it, even though he's a producer on it. And I think it's just ridiculous to not have him, for him to go, we're gonna reboot it again, but I'm not going to be involved to even pass the torch, is kind of stupid.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I definitely agree.
And I have a very hot take about Army of Darkness.
Okay.
That movie should have been PG-13 and not rated R.
Oh yeah. Why would that? Well, it's a different time, I guess. But
well, I have a theory to that. If you remember the original Evil Dead, when Raimi sent it off to the MPAA, they gave it an X rating right away. He said "fuck that" and released it unrated. Same with Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 got an X rating, and he released it unrated despite the MPAA. It was only Army of Darkness that got backed by a studio. I think that was Universal.
Yeah.
That backed Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel that the MPAA, as an act of retaliation, intentionally gave it an R rating because the first two movies released unrated.
I don't know. I saw them in reverse order, actually. I saw Army of Darkness first because I was 11 when it came out. And I saw the ads for it. I'm like, that looks like fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and then I remember when the ads came out for it.
Oh yeah, like
sure.
I remember renting it from Blockbuster. My mom's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "I have no idea, but we're gonna check it out." and then it was a couple years down the road. I didn't know that it was the third movie. So a couple years down the road, I was at the store and I found a VHS copy of Evil Dead 2 for like $7. And I'm like, oh, this is the prequel to Army of Darkness. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. I went home and I watched it and I was like, oh my, that was great. I loved it. And then a couple years later, I ended up winning a Bruce Campbell trivia contest on this website called collegehumor.com.
Yeah.
Or not College Humor. It was collegeconnect.com. It wasn't College Humor. It's collegeconnect.com. And the thing was, the guy was like, I'll send you a copy. If you whoever wins, I'll send you like the Evil Dead limited edition VHS had just come out. Cause again, this was like the early 2000s. And all right, so I won. He sent me that, and I watched it for the first time, and I went like, "Oh wow, that was really, really good." Seeing them in reverse order, I think, kind of sets you up for the finale being the most gruesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We all love. I think we all love Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness, like rewatching it tonight is the first time I've watched it in years. And I remember all the gags, like with his face stretching, and like you said, like
which version of it did you see though? That's my question. Is it the unrated cut?
I think so.
Because there's the line, and this is what I don't get. Like when they changed the line, and I think it's a Screwhead edition. Maybe it's the I don't know. There's a bunch of different editions of it, but it's when he's fighting Evil Ash. And Evil Ash is all like, you're good, Ash. I'm bad, Ash. Little goody two shoes. And he shoots him.
Yes.
Right? Now, the iconic line is like, good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun. Which is like, hands down, my favorite Bruce Campbell line.
Yes.
But in the unrated version of it, they changed the line to him saying, I ain't that good. And I'm like, it doesn't have the right punt. It's like watching the unrated cut of Live Free or Die Hard. Right.
Yeah.
So in the unrated cut of Live Free or Die Hard, after the tunnel sequence, when he runs the car into the helicopter, and Justin Long's like, "Oh my God, you killed that helicopter with a car." In the theatrical cut, he says, "I ran out of bullets," which is a perfect McClaneism.
Yeah.
In the unrated version, it goes, well, statistically, like accidents happen, so many thousand people die from car accidents every year. It was just like the joke just died. And I'm like, why is that in the unrated cut? Like that was like
so perfect.
It's a perfect McClaneism. So sometimes you get these extended editions that alter like lines of dialogue,
like little things
that just that make no sense. And it's like everything else with the Live Free or Die Hard unrated is better than the theatrical because it adds swearing and blood, as life should be. But that one little line is just like, can we just clip like the theatrical part? Right.
That's interesting. Well, I will say this. I saw the theatrical version then because he says good, bad.
Yeah.
I'm the guy with the gun.
There's a bunch of Army of Darkness editions.
Which, by the way, I do want to say a shout out to DC Talk with Extended. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You are awesome, man. Thank you always for your support, DC Talk. You are the man. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. But with the unrated version, Die Hard 4 still sucks.
You know what?
John McClane versus a fighter jet, you completely lost me.
I disagree. There's actually a cut of the movie. It's not official. There was a website called fanedit.org where you would get people that would come on in and they would re-edit movies. And you know, like you could download them, but the whole thing there was like you have to legally own a copy of this to be able to legally download it. And I'm all like, yeah, no, I own Die Hard, I do.
Yeah,
so everyone on this website was like, no, this is like the definitive edit of Die Hard 4. And what it is the guy took the theatrical and the unrated and he cut them together. So like he mixed them together. He cut out like anything with Kevin Smith past when they met Warlock. In that one scene where they're in the same room together, nothing else with like all the other bits with him. They cut him out. They changed the color grading and they trimmed up the movie. And I watched it and I was like, wow, this is the definitive cut of Die Hard 4. It is so much better than what we got. And I wish I still had my copy of it because I'd love to watch it again.
So is this I'm looking up, I'm trying to find something for Evil Dead 4. And I guess it's being called Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
And it says Evil Dead Rise rumor claims new film takes place in a skyscraper.
Die Hard and the Deadites?
Comicbook.com, which is
actually, wouldn't it be the Raid in the Deadites?
Or Dread.
Which is usually...
Well, Dread was a ripoff of the Raid.
This is back from June.
Dread was actually made before the Raid.
Gone Dread Central site. They cover pretty much everything related to horror.
This is just what I found just now. Just doing a search on it. Hold on a second. It just says that Evil Dead fans learned the first details of what to expect from the upcoming film Evil Dead Rise earlier this week. Though a new rumor has emerged which claims that the setting of the new film will be a skyscraper. The rumor comes from Jimmy Champagne's YouTube channel. I have no idea who that is. As he claimed that he had been told previously that the film would take place in an office building or high rise. Up until this week, star Bruce Campbell had mentioned that the new film would be titled Evil Dead Now. So rather than Champagne's comments being based on conjecture about the new title, he had been sitting on this information since before the reveal. It's somehow his recent correction about Evil Dead Rise has made the notion of a high rise being the target of Deadites now having the significance of referring to the location of the film, while fans had previously assumed the title was more of a reference to the dead rising from the grave. So they're saying Evil Dead Rise, like as in this high rise place, whatever. I don't know.
That sounds stupid.
Yeah, the official
I'll watch it.
The official name is Evil Dead Rise. Campbell revealed to the outlet, "We're getting a new draft in. I don't think anything will happen until 2021. Full bore ahead. We're very excited about it. A whole new ball game. No more cabin in the woods." So,
Am I the only one that gets like a Poltergeist 3 vibe out of that? Right? Because it wasn't that like in a hotel.
Something I don't.
It was like it was something, or like I don't know, man.
I don't think it will be a skyscraper, but
there we go.
Bruce had another comment that it will be basically Evil Dead with a completely new group, and I don't remember what he said. I don't think it will take.
Oh, we were so close.
Oh no!
What did you say?
Okay, I thought it was me again.
No. He was so close. We lost you, Aladdin. Said I don't think it's going to take and then you trailed off.
If the thing does take place in a high rise, I do think they should just call it, be done with it. Just call it Evil Dies Hard, and then just put McClane in the movie.
Evil Dies Hard.
That'd be cool. I mean, because like Ash versus like the Ash character has survived in many comic books.
Like didn't they just do like an Alien, Predator, and Evil Dead crossover?
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
I wish to God that they had worked out the movie rights for Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, because that would have been the perfect sequel to that movie.
I met the producer of that once.
Did you really?
Yeah, nice. And I asked him. This was in 2012, and the guy brought it up in this panel he was in, and he just goes he's like, it was coming together just nicely until Bruce Campbell killed it. And then he said he's like all I'll really say about Bruce is that he's a miserable bastard. And but then again, I follow the screenwriters for Freddy versus Jason on Twitter, and I asked them, I'm all like, so what's like whatever happened with this, and they're like, look, dude, it was that guy, the producer, who wanted it. No one else wanted it, but he was the one that was like trying to get it made. And so that's when they had the script written, and then he turned it into a comic book.
Yeah,
the comic's pretty good actually.
Yeah,
and then
I read the comic.
I didn't read the second one. There was a second one that they made.
I didn't read the second
but
one.
But I liked the first one quite a bit. Even though
didn't the second one bring Mike Myers into it or something?
I forget.
Yeah, baby.
But I mean, he was like, that was his whole thing, is he wanted to do this like horror cinematic universe from like back in like the early 2000s, and I'm like, which
would have been cool.
Hey,
real quick, Metro. Hey, man. Good having you on here, buddy.
Yes, it was great having you on. Good seeing you again, man.
Sorry, guys, I gotta take off. It's like 4 a.m. where I am.
Me too.
Yeah. I gotta watch Fat Man.
Oh, fun.
Fat.
I don't like.
Oh, that's the new Mel Gibson movie.
The new Mel Gibson where he plays Santa.
Oh, yes. I want to watch
Yeah,
that.
I felt like crap all day, so I slept like literally all day, and then so I'm like I slept from like noon until about 5:30, so I'm awake. Like, well, I might as well watch.
Yeah, I fell asleep between about 3 and 6:30 myself or not 5 and 7:30, I guess, when I came home from work, something like that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. here for me too.
Oh no, I slept during the Broncos game.
Oh.
Whatever shall I do?
Oh no.
Celebrate your life choices?
Yes.
I mean,
they play again.
I think they played the Dolphins.
Oh, the Tupac. Oh yeah, explain. Yeah, that's the thing.
So I'll get to that in a second. So what was it? And Ryan just posted in here, but I'm not going to bring it up because Steven's like message is like way up the chat, and so I wanted to bring that in earlier. But Ryan just said it had Pinhead. It wasn't Michael Myers. It had Pinhead because Pinhead was controlling things from hell with Freddy and Jason, and Jason was a deadite. Jason was a deadite. And that's why Jason was able to keep coming back and whatever. And Freddy played a different role, but Freddy's role, man, it's been a while since I read that thing, but Freddy had like a different role in like controlling a certain section of hell or something. I can't remember what it was. It was weird, but it was good. I remember it being good.
Okay.
So
wait a minute. Jason was the Deadite?
Yes. Jason was the Deadite.
That kind of goes against Friday the 13th part 6 though. And how Tommy
he's already undead.
He died in part 4. In part 5, it was the kid's father that disguised as him, and then in part 6, it was Tommy that rammed that steel bar into his chest, and then the lightning struck, and that's when he came back to life.
I love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Trying to Make Sense of the Friday the 13th movies with.
I love those movies more than I
there's like
accurately
11
describe.
of them, but the 2009 movie ignores like part 2 up through Jason X.
Well, so let me ask you this. So how does Jason X fit into all that?
Oh, that's so good. I can let Metro explain that one.
Wait, what'd you ask? I didn't get all that.
No, it was about Jason X. How does Jason X fit into all of that?
Well, Jason X is a weird fucking movie because because Jason goes to hell. I mean, they
nice way to explain it.
They pretty much like end Jason by dragging him into hell.
Yeah.
So how is his body
with Freddy's glove? With Freddy's glove.
Yeah. Well, Freddy's glove grabs his mask and pulls that down because Jason was already pulled into hell before that.
Yeah.
Jason X. Let's just be honest. It was a rights retainer. Was all it was. Because I think they were having production problems on Freddy versus Jason. Was it New Line that bought the rights to?
I think so. Yeah. Well, what was it? Back in the day, when did Jason X come out? That was like 2002, right?
2001.
2001. Okay, so like 4 months before that movie came out, I happened to be surfing around a forum. And, looking at what movies were available to watch in certain places, not the theater, and somehow the work print copy of Jason X leaked online, the work print. And so I saw Jason X 4 months before it hit theaters. I secured a copy through somebody else. So they're just giving it to me. Yeah, it's my legal excuse. And then I watched. Yeah, well, I saw the cut of it, and it was interesting because it looked like it was. The movie's fun. I like Jason X. I think it's stupid as hell.
So can I be absolutely? So I'm going to be absolutely honest with you because I got to address three things here. One, my son turned to me tonight and he said, "Hey, Dad, can we watch the Friday the 13th movies? Because he's never seen a Friday the 13th movie besides Freddy versus Jason." And I said, "Absolutely, son, because I too have never seen a Friday the 13th movie."
Wow,
13th movies.
I've made for some reason, guys, for the same reason we were talking about, earlier about like Freddy, like you missed that, Matt, where we were talking about Freddy at the beginning of this because we got on Robert Englund being in Stranger Things, and so it turned into a whole discussion about Freddy Krueger. And Freddy was always like this personality, right? And that's why I liked him. I liked his jokes, I liked the kills, I liked that stuff. Like Jason to me was just like a boring walk through the woods. Like every time I'd start to try to watch something of it, it would just like bore me to tears and I would just stop. But now as an adult, I want to go back and watch it, but like I never did it. So I wanted to say that first of all. Also, Garguts Entertainment, I see your super chat and I'm going to bring it up here in just a second. The only reason I'm not bringing it up right now is because I want to address the Steven Topper thing and then I'll take Steven Topper's thing down. But Garguts, I need you to hit me up on social media because I don't think I got your address and I need to be able to send you your comic book that you won last week. So I want to make sure that you get your comic book because we're all cleared here. Everybody's cleared and all of our tests came back negative. So we're good and we're free. I'll make sure everything's cleansed and ready to go for you, but send you a comic book because you won the comic book last week.
Did you put that music on or something on my oh no,
what?
Sorry,
music.
No, music started playing on my browser. I'm like, no, never mind.
They're taking over. But to
answer Gargut's question,
he's behind you.
To answer Gargut's question, to solve the jug problem in Die Hard 3.
I'm just going to go to that, and then we'll just talk about Stevens.
Yeah,
if I can't find it,
you fill the 5-gallon jug to the top, and then you pour 2 gallons into the 2-gallon jug, and then what's left is 3 gallons.
Oh well, it's because there's 5 and 3, so you got to pour 3 in once. Dump the 5 out, pour the 3 back into the 5. No, there's a way, but there's 2 different solutions. Yeah, there's 2 different solutions for it. I know that because my dad and I went down that rabbit hole at least 5 years ago. We basically saved a file because we weren't going to go through this again.
What is it now? I'm sorry, I have not seen it.
You've never seen Die Hard with a Vengeance?
So I'll be honest with you, I've seen Die Hard, but I've never seen anything past the first Die Hard.
So for context, Die Hard with a Vengeance, basically Jeremy Irons is forcing McClane and Sam Jackson to solve problems all across the city, and or bombs will go off. And was it Central Park?
Yeah, it was in the fountain.
Yeah, in the fountain, there's 2 jugs. There's 2 big water jugs. One's 5 gallons, one's 3 gallons, and you have.
They have to fill it with 4 gallons of water.
Exactly,
that's right.
4 gallons in the 5-gallon jug, and they have, I think it was 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
and so basically, people have figured out online. There's basically 2 solutions. There's the one that's presented in the film, and then there's another one that basically works just as well.
Yeah, so
the one in the movie, don't they fill the 3-gallon jug, pour down the 5-gallon, and then fill the 3-gallon only a third of the way?
No. What happens is they fill the 3-gallon again. After they filled the 3 a first time. So, and then they'll empty that into the 5. That leaves exactly 1 gallon in. Oh, damn it! No,
1 gallon in the 3-gallon. Then they pour out the 5-gallon, and then they dump the 3-gallon, refill the 3-gallon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because there's 2 ways to do it, Jarbo. I know. I figured this out.
You've done it, Garguts.
Yeah, I was wrong on my initial because
everybody.
It's been so long since I've seen it, so I was like, I thought it was 5 and 2. It's not 5 and 3. But
thank you, Garguts. Now I'm googling it.
I did just Google it, but I do have to go because I'm going to go watch the movie and then I got to go to bed. But
okay. So, 2 things. First of all, can I show you guys the toy of the day? I was like,
sure. Is it Superman with the boomstick?
No.
Go along with Bruce Campbell? Damn it.
No. But this is pretty cool. You're gonna like this. Check this out.
Ooh.
Oh, it's the one from. Yeah, very nice.
Look at this.
Very nice.
It's very detailed.
Is that the remote control one?
No, this is actually just the toy, but it actually fits the 6-inch guys. And oh my gosh, I got this. The guy had it for $30, and check this out. So the guy had it for $30, and then he had a ton of old animated Justice League figures, and he was selling those for $3 a piece. And so I had this. I had a couple other figures and stuff, and so I asked him. I said, "Hey, I got 16 of these Justice League figures, right?" I said, "Would you be willing to do those at $1 a piece?" Because they were in his $3 bin, right? And he says, "Yeah," because I was up because with that I'd have been at $95 total for everything that I was buying. And I said, "And I'll buy this, right?" And basically what ended up happening is because I had 16 figures, he basically gave me $32 off of the figures that I was buying, which basically paid for this.
Very nice.
Yeah, and this is a nice bit. I can't even stress to you how big this is. It's huge. I've got the regular toy that came, with this, but this was a special thing that was even bigger. And so
the one you were showing off in the Us United Day stream that we did?
Might have been. Yeah,
because you were showing, I think, that one and then the other one that you have.
I kind of developed this Batmobile collection that I didn't expect to have. Yeah. But all of a sudden I've got a pretty decent little Batmobile collection going on. I've got pretty much everything that I need. I need a new one from '89. So if anybody's got a '89 Batman or Batmobile that's complete, my '89 Batmobile is not complete, and I can't find the part that I need for it. But that being said, I did want to my mouse broke. Or okay,
we can address the Stephen Topper.
So let me just address the Stephen thing because Matt, I would like to get your thought on this.
Sure.
Tupac is not dead. I understand, and I said this the other day on the stream, and so Steven has taken me to task on this because, in his comment there, he says, "Well, I Googled it, and Tupac is dead." Of course, you're going to Google it, and it's going to say Tupac is dead because that's the official line, is that Tupac is dead.
That's what they.
Tupac is not dead. This idea, and they're going to say, "Well, he recorded all this stuff. He had all these songs pre-recorded and ready to go." Look, even Dave Chappelle has made fun of the fact that Tupac is rapping about stuff in his songs even that he shouldn't have knowledge of. If you guys ever seen the Dave Chappelle sketch on Chappelle's show where he's in the club and it's supposed to be after Tupac supposedly passed, and Tupac is rapping about current events and stuff that's going on in the world and everything, and it's just yeah, because it's kind of ridiculous. And I am just of the notion because also was it Machiavelli?
What was the first album that came out after his death?
Machiavelli. Which Machiavelli, if you know anything about Machiavelli, I'm not too deep into this, but I know enough. Machiavelli was one who studied and talked about faking their own death and how to do it or whatever. And there's a lot there with faking one's own death and kind of living a whole other life, I guess, on the other side of that. And so that was the first album. If that's not a sign that that is hey, guess what, guys? I'm gonna put out what now? 6 more albums, and my first album's gonna be Machiavelli to kind of tell you it's life after death. Wink, wink. I totally believe that the guys in witness protection program, that they put him in protection, and he's still doing his thing because his mom lives down in the Caribbean or something like that, and is well taken care of and stuff. So I'm sorry, I've never seen any proof that says he actually passed. I know what the line is. I know what the official story is, but yeah, I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy theories. You won't get me into a lot of conspiracy theories, but that is one that I do buy into. And then real quick, Benson's £5. Yes. Thank you, Benson, for £5. Says, good morning, Enoch and crew. Hoping for a Snyder Justice League trilogy, especially Game of Thrones style. Should send Andy and our good friend on the corner over the edge. Mark, thank you, man. Appreciate it. So yeah. So what is Tupac's dad was Machiavelli?
I don't know. Anyways, I got the solution here loaded.
So what do you think of it, Matt? You get into like all these like you do these Boulder Talk radio things, and you talk and your true crime stuff and everything.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
I listen. Like, people have said that Tupac was the most hardest working rapper back in the day, and he just pre-recorded so much stuff, and they just whatever. But there's an interesting article that came out in 2011. I was just looking it up. That said that Tupac is still earning money as if he was alive. Like, he's still earning so much money, like he still is alive, and everything. Like, not only was Tupac a musician, he also was an actor in several movies. You know, and so like I think the last one he did was gang related with Belushi.
Okay.
And it's not a bad movie. He did one called Gridlocked with Tim Roth and Thandie Newton. That was pretty good too.
And then of course there's the one that he almost was, which I think always blows my mind. Well, like Windu. I guess he was Lucas's first choice for Mace Windu.
That would have been fascinating.
Whoa.
I believe Lucas himself had said that.
I remember that rumor.
That would be awesome.
I remember that rumor. That's amazing. I had totally forgotten about that, but I remember that now.
You know where you heard that? You heard that on the Doomcock channel. That's where you heard that. You heard that.
No. They heard that on my channel.
That Mike Zeroh. No, I remember that rumor from like 20 years ago. I remember that rumor.
Well, according to a Rolling Stone report from 2014, Tupac auditioned to be a Jedi.
I got the consequence of sound thing that I think is linked to that.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, man. That would have been very interesting. The thing is, like, I had a buddy of mine a number of years ago. He was in the Navy, and he went on his first pack, right? His first West Pack, and he came home and he goes like, "Dude, you won't believe what I saw in Hawaii." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, I saw Tupac." And this is like 2002, I think. You know, and I'm all like, "Really?" And he's all like, "Yeah, man, I saw Tupac sitting in a bar with Coolio. They were chilling like at this VIP. I don't know. He was probably high at the time, but look, Tupac has released so many albums.
Yeah,
that it's hard, you know, because he died in 96. September 96 is when he died. So it's been we're coming up on like almost 25 years since he's dead. You know, like, why would he put out so much? I don't know. I think even if say he's the hardest working, okay, that's fine. But at what point do you stop putting out new music? Like, come on, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. So that whole thing was like about Tupac wanting to be Windu was, I guess, Rick Clifford, who I guess was the former chief engineer at Death Row Records, told a Tupac forum that Tupac told him that he was going to read for it. So it wasn't Lucas's choice, but I guess Tupac went to go read for Phantom Menace.
Well, okay, so I guess according to Wikipedia, he released 5 albums before he died, and then 6 albums since death. However, if I recall correctly, there was the Tupac's Greatest Hits, which had was it like disc 1 track 5 was Changes, which was a new single at the time.
Yes.
And greatest hits. That came out in 1998. So 2 years after he died. And then he's got like the Lost Tapes, and then there's like, oh my God. There's like, it appears that the last album came out in 2007 was the last time it came out. So I don't know, man, but it's
I'm telling you, it's weird, man. It's very weird to me. It's very strange. Like I said, I don't get into a lot of conspiracies or all that stuff, but
well, I'll tell you what I'm waiting for, and then I do have to go, but I'll tell you what I'm waiting for. What I'm waiting for is for Courtney Love to finally die, and then the rights to Nirvana to go to someone who gives a shit.
Oh yeah.
And then to finally like get those unreleased tracks
Oh, like
because
for what was
the fact that I mean, like she screwed over Dave Grohl so hard.
Oh,
did he have like post in utero stuff that just hadn't come out, or
yeah, like they released.
I liked in utero.
They released a couple of tracks a number of years ago that were like part of some like Nirvana like greatest hits album or something. I forget what it was. But the fact that she has the sole rights to that is just ridiculous. And
and then Frances Bean like lost one of I think it was Kurt's Jaguar, like the Fender Jaguar, in her divorce.
Oh,
to
really?
her ex, I guess, is he got the Fender Jaguar.
Yeah, it's all crazy, man. I don't know. Here's my theory.
Take your Joker.
Here's my theory is I think Courtney Love had something to do with it. I've always thought that. I've always maintained that thought process, and straight up.
A lot of people from your area definitely believe that.
My
whole family who lives there, who are big time, Nirvana fans and stuff. I mean, and grew up with all that stuff and everything. They all believe that.
Being from the Northwest and stuff, and then like my dad's from the same hometown as Kurt Cobain. So it's and I was actually just out there a couple weeks ago too. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, you know what? Since we're all getting ready to go, it's 4:18 in the morning.
Actually, I have one thing. If you can highlight Ryan's comment again about the Tupac is the new Elvis.
Oh yeah.
I've got something because I just came up with a good joke. It was years ago. I forgot until just now. Ready?
Yeah.
Why was Elvis abducted by aliens?
Why?
Because they were looking for suspicious minds.
Bum, ba-down.
Bad joke. And by the way, Matt, if you ever want to come on my channel, I will pay you with a copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark for one specific reason.
$7,000, but
Yeah, well, hold on. He's got my interest. I mean, I would probably come on for free, but you've now led with an offer that I like. So,
well, I'm not sending you a copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark because I'm a cheap son of a bitch.
Well,
no, but
fuck you then.
I will reward you with a meme with your face running toward the boulder.
Okay, I like it. I can dig that. Yeah, no one's made that one yet. I don't think they even put me on the boulder.
No one did.
It's 2 years. What's so funny though is like that drama is like 2 years old, but like that's literally all some people have on me. And so even like today, like when I pissed off the fandom menace, that's like all they came back with, and I'm like, really? That's all you got? That's that? Okay,
I'm surprised I didn't hear it for defending you, because I totally defend.
Dude, they hate me. They hate me so much. Like they hate me so much. It's so funny, and I'm okay with it.
They do, but dude, they have these literal parties where they just sit around and like kiss each other's butts and like the fandom menace, literally, guys, is so dying. It's so dying, and they're just mad. They're angry that they're dying. They don't even recognize that they're dying. The writing is on the wall for all that hatred and just junk, and they don't even see it. They don't even understand it. And like now, literally, when they do these streams, like it is resulted now. And like I think I saw a stream the other day where it was like the Council of Jeremys or something like that. And there's all these people who literally put Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers name in their screen names, and so like they had a stream about that with Jeremy, just to pay homage to Jeremy. And I'm like, what is this about anymore? Like what are we doing here? And just for Jeremy to talk for like 3 hours about how he doesn't care about anything anymore, and that's why he's left all the platforms and stuff and done his own website and all this stuff. And it's like, no, you're slowly dying, and you went to a safer platform where you can hide all that fact and keep all this stuff. But then, like you said, Matt, people like Doomcock are getting their lies and their deceits released
by outlets that should know better.
Yeah, what the heck, man?
But see, the thing is though, like the thing is like we've got this covered as Attack to Doomcock in one article, and then they've praised him in another literally the next day. So it's like it's all nonsense. It's all clickbait. It's all that kind of stuff. This is where those people operate, where they have to be. So the rest of us, like who want to be like have fun with this stuff, we get. We have to.
Did you say nonsense?
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Tune in to Point Extra Lounge, where Johnny Pop and Ian Fed we'll give you their 2 cents on nonsense.
Absolutely. That's fine.
I will say this. I followed the Phantom Menace long before it was called the Phantom Menace, like early 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I go way back. Back when the High Council first started, it actually wasn't a bad stream. You know, a bunch of pissed off people, coming together because of how Disney was treating the fans at the time was basically a fuck you if you don't like our shit.
Well, no, this is the thing though. Is like in 2016, like no, it was fine. Everyone liked Rogue One. Everyone was happy with Rogue One. Was it Rebels was like on season 3, I think.
4. I think it ended right after Rogue One came out.
I don't react, but it's like the stuff there was good. People liked it.
I love you, bro.
Jarbo.
Steven, you're awesome, man. I just like messing with this.
Yes.
I have one question for you. You've heard my voice over the night. Do I sound like Razor Fist to you?
No, your balls don't sound like they're in a vice. And you don't sound unreasonably angry. You don't sound like a bad Dennis Miller from 1985 knockoff. You don't sound like old man who yells at cloud.
What's going on, Cup of Malik?
Oh goodness gracious!
Oh my god!
I was listening to one of the other streams I was on, and I was like, oh, I do sound like him, sort of, kind of, at least to my ears. I do.
TW. Apparently, you have the voice. You have like that the voice of like people who have like the blood that goes with everybody's blood. Like your voice just goes with everybody. Apparently, my dad, Mike Zeroh, whoever this other guy, Razor Fist, whatever. I don't know. Who knows? It's just funny. It's just funny. But yeah, the Phantom Menace is dying a gruesome death, and they don't even recognize it. And the problem is they're holding on to stuff. So like Matt, like when we see stuff like today, where you made the tweet about it, where it's like, why is Doomcock getting attention for putting out garbage news, and people are reporting it like it's real? The thing is then they hold to that, they clutch to that, because that gives them some relevancy, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's sad.
Are you seeing their coverage on the holiday special, on the new one?
No.
My god, oh my goodness, I get it in my feed.
Were they attacking it? Because I thought it was great. I loved it.
They were basically
Doomcock basically said Ray retconned everything, or was it him or Jeremy?
Yes, it was one. It was one of the two, because she had gone back into the X-wing and helped out Luke.
But don't they realize that like none of that was none of it actually happened? It was all in Rey's mind, all in that cave.
Well, welcome to Lego Star Wars.
I mean,
it's one of those things that like Freemaker, they'll just kind of pick and choose what they want to be canon later on down the road. If anything, I think what probably will get canonized is possibly the Life Day celebration itself. The planet of Kordoku itself will probably get canonized, and I think that's about it.
We all can agree, though.
Canonized after the first holiday.
But that was fun. I watched your review of it, and I loved it. And I kind of agree with you with some of the jokes didn't land. They were probably for a younger audience. One of my favorite things I did love, though, from a reaction video, YouTuber Kyle Katarn. You guys heard of him?
No, I know the character name, but
we all know that. It was funny because he's like, oh man, this it's like, oh, he talked about the Gonk ice sculpture. He's like, I love it. And then Rose is going through the itinerary, decorations check, lights check, ice sculpture, bang, and he freaks out, jokingly freaks out. No,
that's the thing with that. I mean, I watched it again, and I caught a bunch more things with it, and I still love the Mandalorian bit.
Oh, it's great.
Because I didn't know that was going to be in it, and that literally caught me by surprise. And that's what I said in my review. I'm like, it dawned on me. It's like the Mandalorian means a lot to me. I fundamentally adore that show, and I just went spend more time there. Bring Mando, Baby Yoda, IG, bring all the characters. But no, I really, really liked the holiday special. It was campy, but it was done in a way where.
It was exactly what it needed to be.
Exactly. And it was what I enjoyed was also the little, because it spent more, I feel like there's a lot more that was there that was aimed at the Clone Wars and stuff like that, how it had young Obi-Wan and middle-aged Obi-Wan and older, or, whatever. It's hello there.
My favorite was the, one of my favorites that I caught on a rewatch was when, it's so funny when Kylo turns around and looks around, if you send Vader down to Endor, this will lead to the exact chain of events where he chucks you down a reactor shaft and turns, and there's no coming back from that, and turns to the camera. It was amazing. Well, because it's Last Jedi Kylo, right? So he obviously doesn't know it's coming.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. That little jab, and then of course like the fact that they basically made like General Hux gay. You know, it's like
I thought it was.
I still have yet to watch it.
I didn't think you.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
No, it's all right.
Man,
my son Landon has watched it.
Jarbo, that was my fault.
No, you're good. You guys are good. No, don't. You're not going to get.
You should watch it. You should really watch it.
It's really good.
It's good. Yeah, like I can't say a negative thing about it. I had so much fun with it.
I think
my son Landon loved it. The
only thing I would have done is maybe make it a touch longer, but even then, that's if it wasn't a comedy. Like if it was played completely straight, then I could see it being longer.
Well, I mean, it's almost like episode 10. You know, it feels like because it's meant to be a sequel. So like it's 45 minutes. It's a good length. You know, there's like a lot of really good jokes in there. They poke fun at everything.
Poe finally got his kiss. It took him, a movie and a half to do it. But I thought that was kind of funny. Oh my God,
well, look with the original Star Wars holiday special.
I can't wait for you guys to do that.
Me and Johnny are going to tackle that here in 2 Cents of Nonsense. We're just going to watch it. We're going to riff on it with all of you guys. So look for that in the next couple of weeks, actually, because we're waiting until right after Thanksgiving, and then we'll be announcing the day that we do it. Because look, I look at it this way: even with the holiday special, as bad as it is, and it's horrible, it is so bad, it's painful, especially at the first time you watch it. I've told people don't be like me. I was like, oh my gosh, the Holy Grail, right? I had never seen the holiday special. This was like early 2000s. And it was like, I literally got burned by a guy in 99 who I literally tried to buy a copy of the holiday special from off of eBay. And it's like the only time that I got burned off of eBay that I did, because it was before they had, structure in place and stuff that would protect you. And so like $20, I tried to buy a copy on VHS from a guy, and he never sent it to me. And for years, I still had his email, and I would just email him every once in a while and be like, hey, you going to send me that video? And he was like, I went through a divorce, man. And I'm like, so you couldn't go to the post office? Like, it was that hard on you? You couldn't even go to the post office and just drop, you took my money, And so I was kind of, hard about it. But then I found another copy, and I watched it. I popped it in, and my ex-wife would not watch it with me. She was like, off somewhere else. If it was Tiffany, she would have watched it with me. She has watched it with me since. But the thing is, as I sat down, I popped it in, and I watched the entire thing and consumed the entire holiday special by myself in one sitting.
I don't know.
Thinking this is the Holy Grail, the thing I've wanted to see for years, and I've spent like money on this now.
Want to see it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, because this was the Holy Grail to me. I had never seen the holiday special, and it was a thing. I was like, these people saying that it's bad. They're just haters back then. Like, there can't be that bad. It's Star Wars. And then I was like,
it's 2 hours.
What the heck am I watching? I'm watching Lumpy go around and get yelled at by everybody, and watching like crazy horny grandpa.
But like the fact that you have huge
and the story,
chunks of dialogue.
The story makes no sense.
And like huge chunks of conversation between characters who don't speak basic, and they don't give you English subtitles.
And the story makes no sense given the fact that Han and Chewie spend the entire film or the entire show trying to get Chewie back to Kashyyyk, which they call it something else in that movie, don't they, like Kashyyyk or something like that? But they try to get him back to Kashyyyk or whatever, to the Wookiee home planet, and the entire time they do that. But then at the end of the movie, everybody's there up in this crazy place up in the sky where all the Wookiees are in a cult and wear red robes, and Princess Leia's there, and Luke is there, and the droids are there, and everybody's there, but nobody else had to fly him there. So like, if they could all be there anyways, what was the point of like risking their lives to get Chewie home? It made no freaking sense. And I'm just like, I was pissed off at it, besides the fact that I got to see some really cool old commercials. like I was still like, what the, and of course Boba Fett, you know, in the cartoon, because that was cool. But even that, man, is like, what the heck am I watching? The best way that I tell people to watch that thing is either with friends, just hanging out and just riffing on it, being funny, or do you guys know what Riff Tracks is?
Yeah.
The Riff Tracks version of the holiday special is the best thing ever, and you will enjoy it. You will laugh. You will have a good time with your friends or whatever. Don't just sit down and be like me and try to watch it in a serious tone and like think I'm watching the holiday special because I've never seen it. It's just not worth it. It will literally take time off your life. It's just that bad. I mean, Harvey Korman is ridiculous.
They're amazing people.
B. Arthur with
Just
her
like-
with her whole spiel about closing time or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, it's pouring the drink in the guy's head. Like it's just so bad. But it is what it is.
Jefferson Starship did a musical number and like
Jefferson Starship. The weird 70s acrobat crap and then Itchy, you know, looking at who was that he was, that wasn't Lola Falana. Who was that?
Wasn't Dionne Warwick?
No, it wasn't Dionne Warwick. I can't remember what singer that was. That like she's like, I can feel you. Can you feel me? And he's like,
Tommy, can you feel me?
Oh my gosh, it was so creepy, so weird. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one though. My son Landon said that he saw this one, and it's Lego. And look, you know, I mean, like, why would anybody take the freaking Lego Star Wars holiday special seriously and act like it's canon? That's dumb. That's
people who need content.
I will respond in a manner. I will respond in a manner to which they are accustomed. Take it with a grain of salt.
Now, what we are about to present is rumor.
Yeah, I have no actual sources on this one, so take it with a grain of salt. I do want to say,
angry, my friend.
Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll, yes, like such talented people in this thing, and it's ridiculous. Awful. And poor Mark Hamill looks like they painted him up like a clown. Like I don't know what the heck that's all about. I mean,
I think that was just after his accident.
Was that after his accident that's why they did it?
I would believe so.
Yeah, and Mala, oh my gosh, is so creepy.
B. Arthur, Art Carney.
Let's be honest, Harrison Ford only did that just for the money.
Yeah.
The reuse of Star Wars footage for Darth Vader and all that stuff. I mean, it's so freaking creepy.
But it's funny about the holiday special. It is like the list of things that are like weird firsts. First time you see Boba Fett. First time you see the Mythosaur. First time James Earl Jones was credited for his performance as Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! Okay, well, see that
because in A New Hope, I think it was. I'm not sure whether it was at his request or at Lucas's request, but he pretty much said, "Well, I'm just kind of there." David Prowse was much more there than I was. I was just there to provide a voice.
Ryan, the holiday script is
that's not an accurate statement, Ryan. To be perfectly honest with you.
And I think they brought back Lumpy in the Lego holiday.
They brought the family back.
Did they?
Yes, so Lumpy is there.
We really should be stop talking spoilers at this.
Oh, that's freaking awesome! I'm gonna go.
But is that really a spoiler though, or is that just a nice Easter egg to the original?
That's true. I'm still waiting for them. I know it would be a long shot, but I'm like, if we're bringing them back, bring Loey back. That's all they need to do. If they bring Loey back, I will be happy.
Oh no! What they need to do, they need to bring Lumpy into the Mandalorian. That would be funny.
No.
What I did want to say is Benson's with the 5 pounds. Thank you again, man. Pound it. It says Enosh MC Hammer was with Tupac just before he was killed. The murder sent Hammer back to the Lord. Goodness in every sad story. You know what? So you know what? You bring up a really good point here, and that is, everybody talks about this year about how bad it is, right? And it's true that there are a lot of bad things that happen this year, right? I think we can all agree that that's stuff happened this year that was out of our control and stuff. But I think for my closing tonight, I would like to just read you guys some stuff. So I will say this: You guys are talking about something about Undertaker. I did not see anything with Undertaker tonight. Did something happen with Undertaker?
He retired.
It was the fair. Are you talking about WWE Undertaker?
Yeah.
It was just the farewell at Survivor Series.
Oh, okay. I did not see that.
Because he debuted at Survivor Series in 1990.
Yes.
So
yeah, absolutely.
They're going to end his career at Survivor Series 2020.
Oh,
Give him the full 30 years.
That's nice.
Oh, okay. I got you. Because I mean, he's been retired now though for.
Yeah. When did he announce
I actually did. I did a retirement video for him a few months ago. So, like,
yeah, because
I love Undertaker.
Didn't he announce his retirement like mid-February?
Yeah, something like that, man. Because I did a video about it. And like expressed my thanks to. This is dumb too, by the way. I'm sorry. People attacking her. That needs to stop. That's dumb. I literally saw people this week going that they weren't going to watch The Mandalorian anymore because they don't like Pedro Pascal's politics. Look,
I gotta watch your video on
then there's people talking about Gina and her politics, whatever. Watch the freaking Mandalorian for the Mandalorian. Don't watch it for whatever their stupid politics are. If you're gonna say that you're not gonna watch something because of somebody's politics, then you know what? Just turn your TV off. Just turn everything off. Go hide in a corner somewhere because you're going to need to entertain yourself. You're going to have to figure out a way to entertain yourself. Because you're not going to agree with everybody. That's just dumb.
All I have to say on that regard is like, as long as the politics don't invade the show, who gives a damn?
Yep. So Gargut says I watch the holiday special every year. That's awesome. It's been a while. It's been a couple since I've watched it, but
and apparently, according to IO3. The Jeremy Kuhn, Kuhn, the guy that directed Raiders, like the documentary Raiders Story of the Greatest Fan Film Ever Made, they are doing, he's doing with Steve Kozak, a documentary called A Disturbance in the Force, and it is going to be about the making of the holiday special.
That would be awesome.
There's a link on IO3. I think it came out the same day that the thing did, the holiday special, like the Lego holiday special.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, it's like if you go to the actual holiday special Wikipedia page, it links to that. So
that's cool. Cup of Malik. No, we don't know who he's playing yet. I'm just trying to do some cleanup here before we.
I guess it was like a mental patient or something like that.
You thought wrong. Yes, Mark Hamill did. Mark Hamill did look like a Ken doll. Ryan, I can speak Wookiee. That's awesome. Watch The Last Ride. I will give you that. That is a great documentary. Apparently, he was not officially retired. I mean, man, they really talked about it though. That's kind of weird that they're not saying.
Yeah, but at least they send him off where he started. So
I respect that.
At least they pay respect to him that way.
What's up, Guider? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man.
Morning.
So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Matt, hey, if you guys haven't subscribed to Matt, you know what? Go give Matt a subscribe.
Yeah, Lightcast Pod, I think is his channel name.
Yeah, no, go show Matt some love. I love streaming with Matt, and actually this is going to be part of my statement here that I read here in just a second because I don't think we say this enough about each other and like how we feel about each other and stuff. And I'll just be honest with you, like Matt is somebody. Look, I know people got a lot of opinions about you, Matt. And trust me, people like to come out of the woodwork to everybody who streams with you and private message and tell us what we should do and who we should stream with and who we should be friends with and everything. But Matt, I've told you many times before, man, that I used to watch your stuff. I watched your stuff for a long time. You know what I mean? Like I didn't always agree with your takes on stuff, but I liked your stuff, and I watched $3 Theater, and it was like one of my places that I'd watch. And getting to know you even this year has been great. As this year has progressed, just getting to know more people and establishing relationships. And so what I just want to say real quick, again, thank you to everybody who supports the channel. You guys are why we're here. You guys make it what it is. Thank you to everyone in the chat because you make each video that we do live streams and stuff, you guys make it what it is. I mean, we can come in with an idea and a thought, but you guys take it in other places. I mean, the whole Freddy Krueger discussion that we had at the beginning of this video was based on that, just because we talked about Robert Englund was going to be in there. So you guys take it in an awesome direction. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for all of you. Thank you to everyone who has given to this project. We do have that tomorrow. I'm going to start the process of getting that ordered, and then whatever is on top of the money that we've already raised is going to suicide prevention. So look forward to that. We'll be making an announcement when that comes. Look, I'm just grateful to everyone. I'm grateful to you all. You guys are fantastic. Everyone who supports the channel, everyone who watches the videos. Like, like I always say, like, nobody's begging for money here. Nobody's begging for super chats or begging, people to, hand us cash. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about talking about our nerd loves, and anybody who does support the channel, you blow me away every time, because I'm not expecting it. And I'm humbled. I'm humbled that people want to support the channel in the way that they do. So that being said, my wife challenged me this week. She didn't even know she was challenging me, but she made a Facebook post where she just talked about a couple of good things that happened at the beginning of this year, because at the beginning of this year, I got to take her to Galaxy's Edge, and I took her to Universal, and we made videos about that. And you can find them on the channel. And I agree with what I think. I think we just heard TW typing this. Hashtag I love Star Wars. Hashtag us united. But here, when I saw what she was posting, because a lot of people are talking about all the negative stuff that's happened this year, all the bad stuff, I just want to share with you guys some of the good stuff that's happened to me this year. Went to Universal Studios this year for the first time. Went to Galaxy's Edge. I got to go to Star Wars World, man. I got a second dog named Harley Quinn. She's crazy. She's insane.
Sour Patch Kids.
She's a Sour Patch Kid, but I love her, and I'm surprised she hasn't bitten my nose off yet. But she's because she doesn't know how to lick you without nibbling on you. She's a Harley Quinn. Because I feel like the real Harley Quinn would be that way too, to kiss you all over your face, yet nibble you enough where it's concerning. I got to take my family out west to see the Southwest for the first time. Was able to show them where I grew up in Las Vegas and my childhood home, traveled across country back home with them. And I got that video getting ready to come out as well, where you guys can actually come on the 2-stage trip with us, going out there, spending time in Vegas, the sites that we saw, the places that we went, and then actually coming home across country and then stopping off at the Superman Museum. My son, Isaac, graduated from high school, and my son Logan started high school this year. I got to see my good friends Godwin and my good friend Lisa and their families out in Vegas. Got to ride horses with my family in the middle of the Nevada desert in Pahrump at midnight under the stars. That's a fantastic thing. I got to visit the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois. I watched my son Landon increase his drumming ability and start playing in our main services at my church with me, to actually play along with me. And I can't even tell you as a dad how much that means to me. I watched and dropped him off as my son Isaac got his first job and his driver's license. I watched as my son Logan has started to express himself in many different ways. I mean, he dyed his hair teal, but he's expressing himself in just different ways, and he's preparing for his future in engineering, and I'm super proud of him. I got to see my dear friends Aaron and Jesse just have a precious little baby girl this last week. He's my best friend and the drummer in my band. And I'm so thankful for them, and shout out to them. They're freaking awesome. Hey, the freaking Snyder Cut is coming. That announcement came this year. Bill and Ted 3. Never thought that was going to happen. That happened. I got tweeted out by a member of the Justice League, Cyborg, Ray Fisher. It happened. Everything that came with it, it happened. Guess what? It's only been good from here, and I'm still happy about it. I lived out a lifelong dream just a couple weeks ago by renting out a theater and watching The Empire Strikes Back with 25 friends. I've met some of the most amazing new friends. People like Dawson from Nerdy in Many Ways. People like Tony, who was in here earlier. People like ACS, Anthony. People like Brian Hill, Master and None. People like Mad Max. People like Ryan Zeverfett. Ryan, who was in here earlier. People like my friend Nash, I saw him in here, Zantek. He's been a great guy. People like Wonder Meg, right? Wonder Meg was here, man, and she's right here in the toy room. Like Wonder Meg, man. you know, who I've gotten to know the nerd queens and had them on the channel a couple of times now. I got other people who are involved in the movement who know what the channel is, know what this little channel that I started a few years ago. They know what it is, and they're coming on it now, and that's awesome. About Cylon, Scotty, and Sophie, they're amazing people. They were right here at my house. They were awesome. My friend Matt Bosler that I met, that I interviewed, and he's just a funny guy. Matt Jarbo. I got to know Matt Jarbo. I mean, Matt, how many times have we sat up till like 6 a.m. my time, like just having a conversation about stuff like off air?
Yeah,
you know?
a lot.
I mean, just enjoying time because I enjoy talking to you, you know, and it's fun. Got to know Ambassador. And there's so many others, man. I got to reconnect with a guy that I played with. I just put out the interview for John Schlitt. You know, like I played music with him a few years ago. We installed a new sound system at my church that's just like kicking and pumping, man. We got like 12 subs in there, man. It's like huge. It's like insane. I learned to stream using StreamYard and like totally opened up my channel to a whole new way of doing things. The fact that I got a panel on here tonight, I wanted to do that for years, but didn't know how to. You know, I've actually grown the channel. The channel is actually growing and good. I've increased friendships with people like my friend Ryan, Darth Tasty, Bruce, that you guys all know, who makes toys for me and stuff, and we talk to all the time. My friend William, my friend Zach, and Jason, and Caleb, and Harrison, who are on our council when we were able to do that. They had kids, and that's awesome. I got 5 new lightsabers this year, including making my own. I got 3 new Upright Arcade games this year, which was awesome. I got lots of great collectibles and toys that I found throughout the year, which is that. And you know what, most importantly, I'm healthy. I'm alive. I got my family. We're healthy. We're alive. And look, you may not have had that many good things happen this year, but I encourage you to maybe sit down and think about that as we're kind of like rounding that corner to the end of this year. And everybody's like, oh, 2021, can't wait for 2021 to get here. Look, 2021, there's nothing magical that's going to happen on New Year's Eve. We got to face that. There's nothing magical that's going to change anything from 2020 to 2021. But I encourage you to take a look at the positive things that are going on in your life right now, because I guarantee you that if you look for them, you'll find them. And there's always the negativity out there. There's always things, look, we're going to struggle with. And, you know, there's lots of good stuff that can help lift us and lift our spirits. And I'm just thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for everyone who watches the streams and watches the channel and supports us by watching and just being a part of it and laughing with us and crying with us and everything. When I see you guys in the chat just laughing and having a good time, that's why we do this. That's why we're here. And so I want to thank everybody who was in here tonight. Thank Ryan. I know Ryan got kicked out a couple of times because of his internet, but thanks to him. Thanks to TW. Thanks to Metro Obelisk Radio, Gary there. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Matt from Lightcast for popping in here. Thanks to Nerdy for popping in here. Was there anybody else here tonight that I'm missing?
Trying to think. Mladen was here.
Mladen was, yes, thanks to Mladen who was here. And like I said, thanks to everybody. I see Pelican in here. Like, Pelican's a great guy, man. And I love Pelican. I love every time I have a conversation with him, it's just fantastic. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful this week as we celebrate here in America, as we celebrate Thanksgiving. I know that we got people all over the world that watch the stream and stuff. But as we celebrate this is the time of year where we try to take some time and just be thankful, you know, and I want to be thankful all year round. I don't want to just come to a special week and go, oh, well, this is a certain week that I'm going to, you know, try to be thankful. I want to be thankful all year round. And I just want you all to know I'm thankful for you. I think you guys are great. And that's why I keep doing this. And that's why the Poindexter Lounge continues to exist. We may not be the biggest channel in the world, but we got a lot of heart. And we're going to keep being just that way. So thanks to everybody who joined me tonight. Subscribe to everybody. Gary, you got a channel?
Yes,
right?
I do.
Gary, you want to tell them where they can find you?
Yes, at Metropolis Radio on YouTube, exactly how it is spelled on the screen. I also do Friday night Twitch streams over on my Twitch channel. The link's on my YouTube page, so you'll find me there.
Awesome. TW, are you getting set up yet, or are you still waiting in the wings?
Still waiting in the wings. Still just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the online presence. But you know, Thank you for giving me the shout out. And frankly, I am thankful for you, Enosh. So
thank you.
I want you to know that, man. Thank you for introducing me to John Schlitt. And I'm not personally, but just through content and through music and things like that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. And happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans and happy holidays. In case I don't talk to anybody else here, you'll probably see me before then, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And Matt, where can everybody find you, man?
I don't know, in the bushes. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Wrong conversation. Wrong conversation. Yeah.
Every time you say you're going away, I see you pop up with another Boulder Talk Radio. So
No. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna hold off on the. I'm gonna slow down on those. Doing them 5-6 nights a week is just I can't get anything else done.
Sure,
is the big problem.
Now, when you come back for your podcast, you say this week we're going Boulder.
Yeah, this week.
That was a bit of a rocky opening.
Well, I mean, like
rocky opening here.
We've had I like doing the show. It's a lot of fun. It's just but doing it every night is it's there's no real topic. It's just kind of like drop the link, see what happens. And you get some interesting stuff and then you get some dead air but at the end of the day, I'm just like, man, I finish up my deliveries and then I rush home to do it. Mm-hmm. And I haven't played a video game in a week, and I'm like, oh, I gotta, I gotta go play video games. I gotta relax. I gotta self-care. That's hard to do. So yeah. But anyway, you guys can find me at $3 Theater and I post over there. I don't know when I guess I feel like it now. There's nothing going on. So I'm just kind of like, I'm like, oh, everyone's like review movies. And it's like, I did that. And no one watches it.
No one watched it.
What do you want? I was supposed to watch Fat Man. I'll try to watch it tomorrow and do my review of it because it's a little bit too late for that now. But it's just $3 Theater, man. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired, and so I ramble when I'm tired.
That's all right. Well, like I said, I appreciate all of you guys, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week. I'm sure we'll be back with a stream tonight. Like I said, Monday night. We'll do something, and we'll keep it going this week as much as we can. All right, so let's keep looking forward to that. Remember, this is this month's giveaway, this cool poster, and that'll go to the mid month, and then I got some other stuff for you guys. So thank you guys for all your support and for all that you do, and you guys just stay nerdy. And remember, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, that the things that you love don't matter, that your opinions on stuff doesn't matter, because it does. Look, we all may not agree. We all may not think that Ryan Reynolds is going to be in this movie or that movie, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because we're fans. And look, I love talking about this stuff, and I will talk about this stuff till I'm blue in the face. Right. So, hey, as long as you're respectful and you treat everyone with respect and you're good like that, then you know what? There'll always be a place in the Poindexter Lounge for you. Thank you guys. Stay nerdy. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.